Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into Albion, Michigan. I'm Jim Funderburg along with Miles Holliday. And, I had to check for a minute there, big buddy. I wasn't sure whether that was you or maybe it was somebody in a Miles Holliday Halloween suit there.
I like that you called me Big Buddy. Can that be my official nickname on here?
Yeah,
Big Buddy, Miles Holliday.
Big buddy Miles Holliday, I think. It's good to see you, man. You did a little high school football last night,
did.
and so we did some volleyball here in town. And you're back on the sideline with me here today for the football game. It's going to be an interesting one, I think, today.
Hey, we got a little dislike on the menu today, right?
Yeah.
Hope and Albion don't like each other a great deal. And where else would you rather be than right here, right now, Jim? We're rivalry time here.
Yeah, and when you take a look at this too, I mean, 95 meetings. That's hard to imagine to start with. I mean, that's
you were there for each one.
I was I think about 5 for the first one. Okay, I was just a young guy standing on the sideline, big eyes, the first college football game with my dad, and that kind of stuff. And but if you take a look at what has happened here, the very first meeting, as you see, and we thank our buddy Noah Tulusky for the information here today. 9/11 in 1926. I don't think we didn't think that 9/11 would ever be an infamous date in our history back then, though, Miles. 21-0 win. The last time, basically, Hope with a pretty easy win last year at Hope. 41-14, 47-41-7, a pretty solid rivalry, I think you have to call that.
And remember that last win in 2022, a game that you and I called 30-10 as pretty much a domination by Albion that Saturday afternoon. But let's not skid around the fact that this is a dominant Hope football team today. I mean, this is about as good as you get. Coach in our pregame show, he said there's dudes everywhere. And there's not a stat when you break down this Hope football team that's not impressive.
Yeah, you take a look at the standings right now, and you see Alma on top, and Adrian and Hope both at 3-1. And I'll tell you, you talked to the coach about this in the pregame show, but that Hope-Alma game could have very easily gone the other way.
One of the wildest finishes you will ever see. If you get a chance to look that one up, the last 5 minutes of that football game, absolutely extraordinary. It could very easily be Hope that's 4-0 instead of Alma.
And, it's very unusual to sit and look at that total and look at Albion being in the very final spot at 0-4. That does not happen very often. And, again, coming off of a Kalamazoo game that generally when you take a look at the schedule, when you start everything up, you say, well, okay, you got a tough one that's coming against Calvin. You got a tough one coming against Alma. Tryon's always going to play us tough, but there's a couple on that schedule, and Kalamazoo has been one of them that you kind of write down as a W, and last week was not to be.
Yeah, you sprinkle in about 10 points and put them anywhere you want for this Albion football team, that record would be vastly different, right? That was a really tough loss against Kalamazoo last week. Give credit to Kalamazoo. That's a football team that they believe don't have a talent as the top tier teams, but they are smart and they know where their offensive system. They're going to spread it out and they're going to make life difficult for you. A very quality Kalamazoo football team.
Well, and again, it was one of those games that came down to that last drive, and the defense not able to get off the field when they absolutely needed to. They played really well. A lot of time in this season, but then they've had those times when things just kind of fall apart, and that's been somewhat of the difference in a lot of these games.
You can't put your defense in situations where they have to respond every time, right? You have to help them out on the offensive end. Coach Rundle recognizes it. This has always been a strength for this Albion football team, converting third downs. Well, this year struggling at 31%, and the red zone efficiency, Jim, not where it normally is, only 63% in the red zone this year. And you put that combined with 6 penalties a game, that's a recipe that makes it tough to win football games.
It really does. And you transition from a senior quarterback when you open everything up to a freshman quarterback with a little bit younger look and a younger feel with this whole situation. And you are where you are with 3 games to play. A win today, I know it's difficult to talk about that. This is a team that's ranked 16th or 17th in the country, depending on what survey you're going to take. But a win today would be
massive. Absolutely massive. This This is a young football team at Albion. You have a freshman quarterback, Davis Crossman, who is improving weekly, Jim.
Yep.
I think he's going to be a really good one. But if you could get a win against your big rival Hope, and they're having one of their marquee seasons like they do every single year, boy, that would be a massive win for this Albion football program.
And it would set you off maybe to 3 wins yet to finish everything off, because you go to Olivet next week, and then you come back here, and we'll be back to finish it all with Calvin to end everything up. And that, again, a team that's not a pushover this year as well.
You're correct. It's a growing Calvin program. Oh, a little odd that Olivet next week is a 12 o'clock start. Did you notice that? A little bit earlier of a start.
Yeah.
So you better get up a little bit earlier after the fall back, which happens tomorrow.
Yeah, fall back tomorrow, so don't forget to do that. But why don't we fall back on the thing that we do each and every week right around the same time, and that is a conversation with the coach. Miles Holliday had a chance to sit down and talk to Coach Rundle, and here's what they had to say.
College football with the head football coach, Travis Rundle. Coach, coming off a really tough one, 30-26 at Kalamazoo. You guys are now 2-5, 0-4 in the MIAA. Look, man, that was about as a gut punch of a loss as you can get on Saturday. Had to have been one of those tough conversations afterwards.
Yeah, I think we just feel like we lose focus sometimes. I think that's on defense. There was a couple big plays that we gave up, and we got to figure out too the third quarter. Man, we start the third quarter in the second half just poorly, and it has been each game of just turning the ball over, giving up scores, and all of a sudden we have a lead and it's gone like in an instant. And so I think that's just, we got to work out a focus and really not giving up big plays and being able to put the game away when we have opportunities to on offense as well.
I was going to ask you about the third quarter, but I wanted to talk about the second quarter. I mean, the second quarter, you guys are absolutely fantastic this season. What do you attribute the second quarter dominance, and then third quarter, it's a little bit different game?
If I knew, we'd you would have ended after the second game. I think a lot of it is we are pretty young. I think that's when you look at it, we have young guys, and we're just kind of taking turns of making critical mistakes in certain situations, and I think we got to learn just to be extremely focused when we come out of halftime and realize all the work that we did in the first half. That you got to start all over again. I think sometimes we're relaxing a little bit.
Well, one guy that keeps his focus week in, week out, Adam Mills, another fantastic game for him. Tackle for loss, a sack. And, Coach, I watched the fourth quarter on Saturday. The play that he made to get you guys in position for the 26-23 lead with the field goal, walk me through that, because it looks like a regular innocuous play. And all of a sudden, you guys are jumping up and down on the sideline. That's our football. Officials get together. They have the conversation, rightfully made the right call. You guys got possession. Walk us through that whole scenario.
Yeah, so we're playing man coverage, and he's on the running back. But if the running back's staying protecting, he was free floating around, and they threw the ball. He did a great job of making the tackle, but also too like punching the ball loose as he was making the tackle. And so I think that was a big turning point. So we'd had what we thought was an interception earlier a series before that they gave to us and overturned. Which probably was the right call as well. I think that it looked like it was a catch, but probably he didn't catch it. So it was good to get the turnover back, especially deep in their end, to allow us to have a short field to get a field goal. We would have liked the touchdown there, but got the field goal.
When the officials get together and they confer like that, how much politicking are you doing on the outside? How tough is that situation?
You do as much as you can. And they always tell you like, I'm not in the conversation. And so you're trying to politic as loud as you can so they can hear the guys talking maybe. I have no idea, what goes on. And ultimately they make a decision, make a call, and you got to go with it no matter what they pick.
And that was the right decision. And what a great play by Mills. Of course, the field goal put you guys up. Logan Growinski, he's just been about as good as a kicker you could have, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been pretty good. Been pretty consistent for us, especially probably after week 1 and 2. He's been pretty consistent and doing a good job.
So he gives you guys the 26-23 lead. They get the ball back with about 2:14. Walk me through the tough decision right there, because do you want to play coverage? Do you want to bring pressure? What goes into the whole thought process on that last drive?
Yeah, I mean, we did both. I think we were bringing. I think most of the game we brought 5 guys. I think it was probably about 40 of the 70 some snaps. We were bringing 5 guys and, playing man, and we were chasing the QB around all day for the most
Yeah.
part. And then he started getting rid of the ball pretty quick, and they made a couple catches. We missed a few tackles, and all of a sudden, pass interference call in the end zone, and they got the ball, down on the 3 yard line. So overall, that was the one drive we gave up the entire day, and that was it was a bad time to have that happen.
Yeah, right around midfield, I want to say like the 40, had them on a 4th and 6, and they were able to convert. I couldn't really tell. Was it a rub route that kind of got them free, a little creative route running to pick off a guy? And what coverage you guys in? It looked like it was man.
Yeah, we're in man free, which we've been playing for quite a bit, and we contested. Our guy was right on the guy. The QB put the ball up high where their wideout could get it, and he did a good job of holding on as we were trying to punch it out. So it was a good play by them.
Yeah, it's sometimes those guys make plays, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. And a couple of you guys that made really big plays on Saturday, Davis Crossman seems like he's really kind of maturing into the role, coach. 24-37, 230 and 1 TD. Since the first time you saw him enter the game to now, where's his biggest area of improvement?
I think he's settled down quite a bit and, knowing where to go with the ball. I think he made a few, incorrect reads, but I think he's starting to settle down and know exactly where to go with the ball, and he just keeps getting better. Really, since August until now, he just keeps growing each week, and that's why he's gotten the opportunity to do what he's doing.
He had a moment the last home game against Alma where he went 1, 2, 3, and then came back to like his 4th read on the backside. That shows me he's a guy that has an understanding of the whole offense. Is he a real student of the game?
He is, and Coach Wassel's done a great job too of bringing them along. I think those two are working really well together through meetings and to make sure the game plan is something that he can handle and having plays in that he really likes and plays that he likes. I should say plays he feels comfortable running, what he feels he can see the best, and so we're catering towards that right now.
Well, quarterbacks always love big targets, right? 15 of his completions were to Davey, Dennison, and Hunter, right? Those are big guys, right? What is it about those big guys and that big kind of package that you guys will put out there that makes it, one, easier for him, and two, tough on defenses?
Yeah, one, it's that's a big target. It's a lot easier throwing to those guys than somebody that's 5'7", 5'8".
Right.
You don't have to be as accurate with the ball. But two, it's a matchup difference with defenses. If they see 2 tight ends come in, they're going to maybe change what calls they're running. And our 2 tight ends are athletic enough to be wide receivers. And then when you look at Dylan Dennison is big enough to be a tight end, and we've used him in that role some. So you're looking at, you're like, man, they have maybe 3 tight ends on the field. They can get in certain formations, or we can spread it out. So we're pretty multiple with having those guys on the field and what we can do, and it limits what a defense can initially call.
And if they play small guys on those that package, right? You guys have the ability to box them in and run right at them, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So Steve and the offensive staff are doing a good job with personnel and what we're doing with what we have.
That's fantastic. And this offense really seems like it's close to breaking out. Trudell had 159 again, but Tayshawn Nichols, 40 yards. He had a run on that goal line where he broke away from inside, bounced it out. I thought that he showed a little more speed than I've ever seen out of him. You got a really dynamic group in the backfield, don't you?
We do. And I'll tell you too, like Nevin Dent's been playing really well as well. So I know you named off, Trudell and Tayshawn, but Nevin probably the last 2 games has really come on strong.
Yeah, without a doubt. You can see that this offense is close to breaking out and having a big game, isn't it?
Yeah, we're right there. I think that's it is frustrating that it hasn't happened yet, but we're right there. We have all the weapons and looking for everything to fall into place on Saturday.
Now, the biggest thing I think that is kind of hindered, and you might agree, Coach, only 31% on third downs. What do you guys have to do to increase that percentage?
Yeah, I think that's just staying out of bad third down, distance. We've been third and long quite a bit, and that's been a mixture of things. Maybe an incomplete pass and a short run yard, or penalties. I think that's we've had some terrible penalties in bad situations that on Saturday we took a touchdown off the board. I think we had we were inside the 5. I was going to be 3rd and maybe 2 from inside the 5, and all of a sudden we're 15-yard penalty, and we're end up kicking a 39-yard field goal just to get points. And so I think it's been a combination of things. I think what we need to do is make sure we're in that third and manageable, that third and short to medium, where we can convert.
Yeah, you got to love the fight of your football team. Look, 2-5, not the record that you want, but boy, you guys still give great effort. What's that say about the culture of your football team?
Yeah, it's very strong. I think the guys have a ton of pride in representing Albion College each Saturday, and I think that's it's been this week in practice too. I think coming off, team could have just kind of hung it up and walked through practice, but guys, they've done a great job, and we've competed. I mean, all the games have been close, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's we just I think like the focus, and we've given up a couple big plays and haven't made plays when we needed to. But the guys are fighting, they're right there, and we feel like we're really close to breaking out.
It probably helps too that that 4-letter word hope is coming to town this week, right? I mean This is one of those games that definitely you circle on your calendar. Tell us a little bit about what this game means to you and hope to the whole program playing against Hope.
Yeah, I think anybody that's ever suited up and played and graduate from Albion, this game means a ton. And what was it? Just yesterday, Morley Frazier, one of his daughters, was walking through the hallway to drop something off, and she was commenting on how much Morley got fired up for this game. Was happy that it was this one coming up. So I think it's anybody that's ever put on the purple and gold. This is a big rivalry game, and it's like a 365-day thing that you want to get after it and play your best in this one and bring home a win.
Do you have a special memory from your time as a player in this rivalry?
Oh yeah, hands down. My senior year, I think we were both. It was for the league title, last game of the year. We were playing here, and I think they were ranked second in the region at the time. And we were too. Like we were highly ranked as well, and I think it was 42-11 or 10 or something. I think it was our whole team. Everybody played well. We had a running back run for 200. First play of the game was a 77-yard touchdown pass. One of my buddies, and we rolled from there. Defense played well, everybody. So like that whole game, watching, playing well, watch my teammates just dominate that game. That one stands out quite a bit.
Still gives you a little goosebumps, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. But I can still see Kerry Wright and Merchant getting all the interceptions in that game, and Danny rushing for he had a big 70-yard touchdown run and went between the legs in the end zone, like a little basketball deal. So a lot of great memories from that game alone. Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this current Hope team, 6-1, 3-1 in NCAA. Had a tough, crazy loss at Alma against Alma, 29-26. But coach, they got dudes absolutely everywhere, don't they?
Everywhere, offense, defense, special teams. They're pretty stacked, and you watch that game against Alma. It's kind of like, shoot, like how did they not win this thing by 21?
Right.
And so I think like they're a well-oiled machine, playing well, and they really put pressure on you in a lot of ways.
Now you study them offensively, 48% conversion rate on third downs. That tells me they're staying on schedule. They are a run-heavy team, that tells me. But at the same time, you look at them offensively, they complete 74% of their passes and have the threat to take you deep. Are they a run-first team, or they escort you with a deep ball team? What are they?
It's both, a combination of both. I think they know they can run the ball, and two, that opens up, the shots deep for them to be able to, protect and give the QB time. And if you do get to him, he's athletic to run around and extend the plays quite a bit. So it's you definitely have your hands full with him.
Yeah, the quarterback is fourth on the team in rushing, but look at this. Martell at 437, Goki with 369, Mater with 263. That's a three-headed monster. Is it all different styles that they try to employ, or it's just they're so good they want to keep guys fresh?
Yeah, I think they're good up front. They want to keep guys fresh, but two, it's probably guys that have earned the right to play, and they're trying to, keep it as even as possible with those guys. So they roll them through quite a bit, and all three backs they're really good backs. Yeah.
I get you on that. Are they a big personnel switch team? Are they going to bring in heavy guys? Are they going to be a spread team? They like to use different groupings?
They'll use probably three different ones with 10 personnel, 4 wideouts. So being 11 with 3 wideouts and 1 tight end.
Okay.
Who's a mix of like a fullback tight end type deal. He's been playing. That's probably his third year starting, I think. And then they'll get into 12 where it's two tight ends, two wideouts, one running back, or kind of the three main groups that they're in.
And you try to match different personnel groupings. Is that correct? How tough is that simulating that in practice to make sure you get the right groupings out?
In practice, it's easy to simulate. In the game, you just got to make sure that you're seeing the guys substitute the right way, and you get your guys in there. And two, you're trying to make sure that you're calling things that don't put you in a bad situation. If they do kind of like what we do, where it's 12 personnel, but all of a sudden they're in a 4 wide receiver set, you want to make sure your calls are matching what they're going to line up with.
Walk us through a little bit about how that process goes. Like who's in charge of watching what personnel is coming out? How's that communicated, and how do the guys on the sideline know when to go out? Who's calling it?
Yeah, so there'll be entire defense staff on the headset is seeing really. You look for the tight ends, like who's if only 1, 2, or none of those guys are out there, and then we match it from there. We have time to get our substitution in, and so we'll call out what personnel group we want on the field, and then guys going out on the field, they're yelling it as they go on.
Is it a little more difficult now that you can have small numbers on big guys at tight end and stuff? Years ago to be okay, there's 88, he's coming out, he's a tight end. Is it difficult seeing the numbers?
No, I think that part's not the issue. It's the hardest part is when, and it's not as much here as say, like at the FBS level, where you have all the TV timeouts and you have 18 guys all in the huddle.
Right.
And then when they break from there, you got to quickly figure it out. So it hasn't been as hard as that. Like that was a lot of stress at Penn State. I was the guy that had to say, hey, it's 12, 11. And you got the D coordinator yelling at you, like, what do they have? And you're quickly trying to figure it out. So it's been a little bit easier here with not as many TV timeouts. You can spot it pretty easy who's coming on, who's coming off.
Those offensive guys, they're cheaters having all those guys there, aren't they? That's a little bit cheap.
Yeah. You get the whole, it's like 40 guys in there. You spend the whole time out trying to figure out where the tight ends are in that little deal. Yeah.
Man, that'd be tough. They don't want me to. I can barely count to 11, Coach. All right, let's talk a little bit about that Hope defense. Liam Danitz, 13 and a half tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks, 33 tackles. Is he just a monster?
Yeah, he's quick, right? I think he's the MIAA sprint champion, so he's fast. He's aggressive, and he's been playing a lot of football for him, and they do a good job of showcasing him. So he's definitely a handful for your tackles to have to handle.
Do you know where he's lining up every time, or they move him around to make it difficult?
You have a pretty good idea of where he's going to be at. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Is he one of those guys that, and I don't want to give away game plan here, but I mean, do you kind of chip? Do you slide? Do you double? How do you handle guys like that?
Oh, there's it just depends on where your philosophy is on chipping guys. So Paul Alexander is a long time NFL O-line coach with Cincinnati Bengals. He ran a Midwest lineman camp, so we've got to know him a long time. Like he would run a camp here on campus, and he's very adamant about never chipping because it throws the tackle off sometimes. Like you don't want to chip because sometimes it messes the tackle up. And so it's just different philosophy on what you're like the O-line coach and OC, what they feel like they want to do. So you can chip, not chip, or if you're sliding that way, and then he has inside help. But two, they have enough guys on the defensive line that somebody's going to get to you if you put too much attention on one person.
As an offensive lineman, a former offensive lineman, I always look at it like this: like, why can't I just get a shot first? Right?
Yeah.
You let me. I'm good too. Let me see if I can handle them first before you throw in all these toys in the toy box, right?
Yeah. And Paul Alexander would tell the one story with he had a big tackle that was going up against Javon Curse, the freak, right?
Yeah.
And he did really well against him all the time. And Paul had asked like, hey, what's your secret, right? And going up against this guy, and he just says, I never look at him until the ball is snapped. He's like, if I spend all my time looking at him, I'm gonna get freaked out with the size and knowing everything about him. But if I just kind of keep my head and eyes away from him, and then all of a sudden just look on the snap, like mentally I'm gonna be okay. So there's all sorts of different ways, that everybody prepares different on what they need. Just find what works for you.
Hey, that's a compliment if you look at a guy and you get scared, right? That's a big
in the NFL. Yeah.
But all right, Coach, give us a couple keys that you guys have to accomplish to get the victory on Saturday.
Yeah, I think being able to handle their defensive line, I think that's one. They do a lot of things up front that present some problems, and so making sure we're set there, limiting the big plays on defense, and I think the big thing too is penalties. Make sure we're not shooting ourselves in the foot there, and then winning in the red zone. I think that that was a big part of the game last Saturday for most of the year. We had 2 shots inside the 5, and we didn't get touchdowns on. We had to kick 2 field goals, and we got to make sure we're getting touchdowns in the red zone and holding them to field goals.
I love it, Coach. Let's get it done and have some fun on Saturday. As always, Coach, thanks for your time, and go Brits.
Hey, I love the Kresge Crazies back there too. That's my time here. We started up the Kresge Craze. That was the original. We got Cascarelli's, who's Alex Trudeau's grandfather. Jim Cascarelli was our first sponsor.
That's
got
awesome.
the T-shirts going on. Yeah. So it's fun. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thanks, Coach. Have yourself a great rest of the week, and let's go Brits.
Go Brits.
Here in Albion after the pregame show and the coach's comments there. Miles Holliday, Jim Funderburg, and we're about ready for the national anthem. So we will step away real quick for the national anthem, and then we will continue to get you ready for a little MIAA football here on the Britain Sports Network on a chilly Saturday afternoon in Albion, Michigan. Kind of an all-star band out there today, as the brigade will be performing at halftime, but a couple of high school bands down there, and also I think a couple of Albion alumni as well, as they get the national anthem out of the way. Coldest day we've had so far, windy today. I mean, the wind's blowing in off Lake Michigan. You can just feel it today, can't you, coming through the window?
Yeah, I had a little bit of precipitation, some moisture on the football field. I walked it before the game, Jim. Talked with Coach Bloomey, Coach Bloomfield. He said it's in fine condition. It is a little bit slick, though, so you better plant on the proper foot. No inside cuts. You want to make sure you're cutting on that outside foot here today.
46 feels like it's 42 with a 7-mile-an-hour wind. Around the conference here this afternoon, there's a complete schedule of games as well. As you take a look at the 1 o'clock kicks today, all of them kicking at 1 today. You got Adrian at Kalamazoo. That's got to have an interesting flavor to it here this afternoon, especially after what Kalamazoo did to us last week.
Yeah, Kalamazoo can score some points. They can move the football. Boy, they have a dynamic duo at quarterback and wide receiver. Not sure they're going to be strong enough on the defensive end to stop Adrian, but that Trine and Alma matchup, I think that is really an interesting matchup. If Trine can score early and kind of hold tight with Alma, match them score for score, it could be a ballgame.
And then you got Olivet and Calvin, the last two teams that we will see. In fact, the last two teams that Hope and us will see. We flip-flop with them here. We go to Olivet next week, and Hope will be playing Calvin. And then we will end the season right here with Calvin on that final Saturday afternoon of football here at Sprinkle Sprandel Stadium. So it's amazing how quickly the season goes, Miles. You know, you get started, you say, wow, we got 10 full weeks of football, actually 11 with the break. And the next thing you know, you're down to the last couple right now, and you're wondering where the rest of the season went.
That's why coaches will always say, if you're a backup, you're only one play away, because it goes so quick. You never know when your number is going to be called. And I feel, for the seniors, they're starting to look at those last couple games, knowing that their career is quickly coming to an end. So you want to play your best football at the end of your career.
And again, you wonder as you look down over the seniors on this team this year, maybe a couple of them will opt to come back for a fifth-year program. We talked last night a little bit about a guy like Alex Olenek, who lost last year. Okay, could very easily come back maybe next year for a fifth year if he chose to do so, and that's always a decision that's, I'm sure, had to be talked about with mom and dad and everybody else over the course of the summer until you get back here again next fall.
Everybody would love to have Alex Olenek back.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, Albion's going to get the ball first.
So there you go, Brits. So Hope wins the toss, and they will defer for the second half. And again, if you would like to talk to us this afternoon, you can do that too. Webcast at albion.edu is the easiest way to make that happen. Webcast at albion.edu. We'll be manning the phone this afternoon and bringing you the play-by-play this afternoon here too. From Sprankle Stadium. And you know what? It's a kind of an overcast day today. It's kind of a chilly day. I would have to
football
think
day.
It's a perfect football day. And I think it would be really big for this Britain's team to be able to convert for a score in this opening drive.
It'd be huge. It's also the kind of day where our friends in Florida like to chime in and let us know how nice it is down in Florida when it's cold up here.
So if you're down there in Florida right now and you want to brag a little bit about that it's 85 degrees and sunny in Destin, or if you're out in Scottsdale or wherever you might be, we'd love to see some pictures and hear from you today. Good news, number one, going back to return a kick right now, and it's been a while, since we've seen this combination back there in Jalen Johnson and Brandon Fracassi. But if I am Hope, even though I'm a 6-1 team, even though I'm ranked in the country, I'm going to kick it to anybody but number one.
Well, it's Timmy Trumpet time as the Albion sideline starts to get excited. I saw Johnson walking around in pregame gym without a shirt on. Yeah.
Caden Balkin going to kick this thing off for the Hope Flying Dutchman. And the Britons getting ready. 15 minutes on the clock, and here we go. And they're going to kick that ball to Johnson, and he will step into the end zone. He slips and falls down, and that's exactly where it'll be. Boy, he thought about bringing that one back, and somehow just hit a slippery spot on the R there in the end zone and went down. So there you go.
He had all the earmarks that he was going to run that out.
Yep.
A good move that he slipped on now. He's wearing those short nub cleats, those molded cleats. So keep an eye on guys that have those molded cleats today. If they have the short variety, slippage might be a problem.
Britons will come out, and again, they will open up with a Davis Crossman as a quarterback, the freshman, right out of St. Joe, Michigan. Crossman, as you talked about in the pregame show with the coach, having a pretty good success story here after the first couple of weeks. He's starting to figure things out and make things happen, and I think Davis has a great future ahead of him here playing for the Britons. They'll fake the handoff, and Crossman will roll to his right. He's got Hope Flying Dutchman all around him, and he just turns and throws the ball away to Owen Graham. And the first throw of the afternoon is going to go in the wrong direction as Graham will bring it back to the 32-yard line. And I'm not exactly sure what Davis Crossman saw there, because I did not see a purple shirt anywhere.
Yeah, you wonder if somebody broke off their route and is supposed to be there, or he's trying to throw this away. This goes right. Really, Jim, this is a tough play because it's coming right to you, right?
Yeah. You got to make the catch. I'm not exactly sure who he was throwing that to, because there was nobody on this side of the field. That one should have been to a purple jersey on the other side of that boundary line. And again, now,
I don't know how many interceptions Owen Graham's going to wind up with, but that's going to be the easiest one ever.
Thole going to look to go in the end zone the very first time, and we've got an obvious interference call down around the 5-yard line as Backstresser got kind of crossed up just a little bit and ran through the intended receiver.
Yeah, good inside fake, and they're just going to run a receiver across the formation to an opposite zone. Backstresser recognizes it, just never gets his head turned around.
So Hope was going to go for the jugular on that very first play after the turnover, and you can't blame him for that one. And for some reason, again, it's got to be tough for this defense. You expect to have 3 or 4 or 5 minutes there to get your head ready and watch a little football, and just like that, you're back on the football field playing against one of the toughest teams in the country.
Yeah, sudden change situations. Got to be ready for it on the defensive end.
A.J. Martell with the football as he heads to the right corner, and the Brits right there to knock him down after just a short pickup.
As back stresser that comes up and makes a tackle after a little bit of gain for this Hope football team, Jim, that runs the football extremely well. I mean, honestly, though, there's not much on the offensive end that they don't do well. Complete about 74% of their passes, run the football for over 6 yards on average. This is a very good offensive unit for Hope.
Very well balanced, and Alex Stoll has come in and taken over the reins of this football team this year, and doing a nice job. And he will keep the football and call his own number, and the Brits had it all sniffed out. Nice job by the Brits to knock that down. Debus, obviously the very first guy to get there.
Yeah, Jimmy Bona coming from the strong side, comes across the formation, gets involved also. But it'd be huge, Jim. Get a stop here, force a field goal attempt after a easy interception. You can maybe steal some momentum back, but holding them to a field goal.
No doubt about that. So Davis, a good job on that offensive line. 3rd down and 9 now for the Britons, as that defense who had to kind of shake the cobwebs out early and come on after that interception are doing a pretty decent job. But the reception there for the first down, and inside the 5-yard line goes Caden DeHorn. DeHorn, a senior out of Houghton Lake, and that will be a 1st down and goal now.
Look at everybody's eyes. What's it telling you? It's going to be man. This is a great route. Let your quarterback, it's going to be a pivot back outside. Let him throw it to the spot that you want to go to. A great breaking in and then back out. Tough man beater. Well executed by Hope.
Martell again, the running back in the backfield with Thole, the quarterback. Thole, 14 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, and as you have pointed out a couple of times, hitting 74% of his passes. And they will go to Martell, and he will be close to the goal line, but stop short at about the 1.
This is a Hope football team, though, Jim. They absolutely love 3rd down. You convert 3rd down at 48%. And why? Well, because you have a quarterback that makes great decisions. You got receivers that run great routes.
Yeah, it really it is a difficult afternoon here for the Britons this afternoon, and open it up by turning the ball over that quickly makes it even harder. So we'll have to see if the Brits can make things happen as Martell gets the football in an easy run into the end zone as the entire left side of that offensive line opens up a hole that you and I could have run through, and it is 6-0. So what a quick turnaround and momentum as well too, as the Britons turn the ball over on the very first offensive play of the afternoon.
That was the completion on 3rd down that allowed them to get into the red zone and score the easy touchdown. How about the old diamond eye formation used right there?
Balkin in the extra point here as Caden sets it up. Good snap, good hold, and that one is up and through as the holder is Johnny Rowan Blanton, and he put that one down exactly where it needed. And just 3 minutes basically into this football game, the Brits, who opened with the football, are finding themselves down 7-0 after that interception on the first play of the game. Tough way to start, Miles. There's no doubt about that.
You don't go into your scripted first 10 plays that everybody loves and think that you're going to throw an interception on the first one. Just one of those weird plays that doesn't make sense. And a great job by Graham just dropping into his zone and coming up with an interception when the ball's thrown right to you.
No doubt about it. So there was the Flying Dutch offense there that you just saw, and the Brits about ready to get the football back. And I tell you what, Johnson, who goes back to the goal line, I guess maybe should we have felt that maybe things were not going to go right when we saw Jalen slip and fall in the end zone after thinking that maybe he was going to take this one to the house. We're going to see what's going to happen now as they're going to have an opportunity to kick this ball again.
Let's see if he gets his feet underneath him. This time doesn't have that Fred Flintstone moment again.
That was a difficult situation. This one kicked about the same spot, and he'll let it go over his head and out of the end zone. And the Britons again will have their second opportunity, 1st down and 10. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not exactly sure when we looked at that replay where that ball was going on that first pass, but hopefully things will get better as we go here this afternoon, because the Brits open up down 7-0 here in the first 3 minutes.
Well, anytime you have a young quarterback and he throws an interception early in the game, try to get him a nice easy throw on his next attempt to get a little bit of confidence going again, get him back into some rhythm.
Britons have Tayshawn Nichols in the backfield, the 6'2 senior out of Trenton. And they'll go with that one back look with the pistol look, and they'll go to Nichols. And Nichols has some room on that left side, and he's ahead to the almost the 30-yard line. So much better first down effort this time than the last time.
Yeah, you see Nichols, nice little cut. They get vertical. His speed is something, and his quickness is something that is really jumping forward here late in this season. He's always been a big power back, but he had a nice run at the goal line last week against Kalamazoo, as you see a late coverage change by Hope in the secondary.
Second down here and 5, and they'll go right back to the line of the running game, and this time somebody missed the block, and the loss will be equal to the gain on that last play, and it will set up a third down and 10.
Yeah, you see Danitz just cut underneath, jump to C-gap. Boy, he is just a tackle for loss machine. His 14th and a half tackle for loss on the year.
Not a good situation is the big defensive end, 6'5", 227. And did the coach say something about him being a sprinter too?
He did.
Okay.
That's unfair, isn't it?
That's totally unfair, man. One of the fastest guys in the MIAA, and he plays defensive end. Throw underneath is caught and will be close to the first down. That's Dennison with the catch. Dylan, the fifth-year senior, gets back to about the 24-yard line, in fact, or the 29-yard line. That'll set up a fourth down now and about 7.
A nice call by Jacob Pardonnet, the defensive coordinator over at Hope. He's going to play coverage and let you complete it in front of the chains and rally up and make the tackle.
So the Brits have had the ball twice. They've been able to run the ball a couple of times, one for a 5-yard gain, one for a 5-yard loss, an interception, and then a 4-yard completion, and we will kick this ball back again. Going to take a Britons roll inside the 30 and going to be down right around the 24-yard line as they let it roll all the way to its completion. So a nice kick by Bowman.
Yeah, nice roll, too.
And a beautiful roll as that one rolls out. I think the longest kick of his year, as he's out over 50 yards on that one.
You might have picked up on our microphones, our field mics, someone yelled, Peter, Peter, Peter. That is Gavin Remus. You know what Peter means?
No.
It's telling your guys that the ball's on the ground, stay away from it, get away from it, because you don't want it to hit you and allow Albion to have an opportunity. So that's kind of a universal call. The returner yells, Peter, 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 letting you know the ball's on the ground.
Cal Motter now the running back for Hope as they change religiously, and the running game is on its way as Motter into the open field to the 50. Will anybody be able to run him down around the 20? No push out, and he will go the distance. My goodness.
Well, I'm not sure Hope could have a better start to a football game. You get the turnover, you convert it, and then watch the kick-out block right there. That is a massive block down and kick out. That is a massive hold, Jim.
Yeah, Cameron Jones was locked up right there in that gap. He looked like he had an opportunity to make that tackle but could not get free.
You get a hole like that, all you have to do is just style and profile your way, as Motter says. Touchdown City for Hope.
Motter goes 80 on that one. It's 13-0 with the extra point coming, and it looks like we're going to see some new faces for Hope here if it continues this way early on in this football game, as the Brits find themselves down 14 points, and we're not 5 minutes into this first quarter this afternoon. Boy, this is not what I thought we would see at this point. You know, I know Hope is a good football team, but the mistake on that first series and then an 80-yard touchdown run, oh, my goodness.
Well, it's just not the 80-yard touchdown run. It's the ease of that 80-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
Jim, that was a hole that any running back is going to sprint through. I mean, there wasn't a purple jersey around him for about 5 yards at the line of scrimmage.
So the Brits will have the ball back, and we're going to need something special here as they find themselves in a hole here real quick to the Hope Flying Dutchman this afternoon. Let's see. Maybe we got somebody on the network here right now that can tell us a little bit more about this and where they're at as we have a shout out of webcast at albion.edu if you'd like to talk to us here this afternoon. Good afternoon. You guys do a great job. I'm from Florida, a Hope fan. 72 degrees here, so it's a little bit chilly for us. Laugh out loud. Well, if you're a Hope fan, even if it's a little chilly, you got to be happy as Johnson brings this one out. And he's looking for some room. Skips over a couple and past the 30-yard line to about the 31-yard line before Hope finally brings him down.
Now, Jim, you want to point out that you're a really good athlete just by watching some film? I'll show you. Watch us. Hey, it's high hurdle season. How about that? Doesn't even slow down. That's the electricity that Johnson will provide. A little bit of a spark off a nice return. Some positive field position for the Brits who need something to go their way in a worse way.
Brits are going to have to do something to try to figure things out, I would think.
Our friend from Hope that just dialed in, he must have the volume down.
Yeah, he must. They were doing a good job, yeah. Says, can you explain how each team, Hope, Alma, and Adrian, can win the title? Well, at this point in time, obviously, Hope in the driver's seat with or Alma in the driver's seat right now with the win over Hope. And the Brits try to run the ball again on first down. And, boy, a loss of about 3 yards as Hope all over that thing.
Hope does a really good job of getting one-on-ones with their defensive linemen, right? And so it's almost impossible to get a double team. And you see they're going to win their one-on-one battles right there. Big tackle for loss. The Hope team just lives in their opponent's backfield.
So basically, if Alma wins out, they win the conference. That's the simplest explanation of this whole thing. And then from there, it's going to depend on what happens today and the next couple of weeks as to how this will play out. Pass with a lot of pressure coming will be just a little bit too far for Nevin Dent. Well, you don't see Dent being the intended receiver too often, but that little screen pass maybe to slow down this rush a little bit, which was all over.
Yeah, it's a blown assignment up front. You don't let linebackers come right through a gap without being touched. If this was all over top of Crossman, had to make a quick decision to get it out.
Crossman having a rough start to this afternoon. The freshman with his first opportunity to play the Flying Dutch this afternoon. And so far, he has been very impressed, I'm sure, with the guys in the orange helmets. We'll go screen the opposite way. And again, a lot of heat coming. Bryce Debris on the rush that time, and that senior was all over our backfield.
Why do you want to stay at a 3rd and long with a freshman quarterback? Because he is looking at this. I'm going to get pressure in here. These guys are going to fall out, and here comes the edge pressure, going to get right in his face. That is a lot to decipher for a freshman, and he's going to have to read the route combinations. Great stuff by that Hope defensive staff.
Good idea. If he could have gotten the ball to Nichols, I think Nichols had a shot at that first down as a big rush coming from Hope and a fair catch back around the 35-yard line. But, unfortunately for that young freshman, he has had nothing but people in his face all afternoon. Gavin Reams with the catch. Ball will be 1st down and 10 for Hope. 9:13 to play opening quarter. And they have scored 2 easy touchdowns here on us in the opening minutes of this one.
If you're Andrew Hawkin, offensive coordinator over for Hope, why get away from the run game? Right? You have huge holes to run through.
Go back to A.J. Martell this time again. Yeah, you're right. I think maybe you wore out. Cal Modern is sitting over there still in the oxygen tent after an 80-yard sprint like that. Throw goes into the flats to Travis Myers, and Myers finds some purple jerseys all around him, but not after he picks up about a half a dozen.
Yeah, a nice tackle by Johnson to get him to the ground.
So Jawan Johnson and Jalen Johnson. Jawan playing the defensive backfield for you Hope fans that might be out there watching right now. They both wear number 1. They both have the same last name. And there
same
you go.
First initial, too. It's JJ number 1.
Yeah.
Both of them are dynamite.
Yeah, they both have played extremely well for the Brits this year. 2nd down and a half a dozen or so. Brits have some pressure coming on Thole. Will they be able to get him? He is able to scramble out and then throws to Travis Myers out in the flat, and Myers will have enough for the 1st down as he's close to the midfield stripe.
Yeah, watch Thole. This is just unfair. He's going to have a free bona coming right at him. He's going to give him a little shoulder in and get outside. This is fantastic pocket awareness by the quarterback.
So the 1st down pickup makes it 1st down to 10 now for the Flying Dutch right at the 48-yard line.
You got to run through that outside shoulder of the quarterback.
Brits defense going to have to try to find a way to get off the football field, and the run will be into Britain's territory. And again, it's Martell back on the field, and Martell with the first down total of about 5, set up a second down and about 5. And Martell will jog off the sideline here real quickly.
And Thomas Smith going to check in for Johnson, who lost his lid.
Goki now checks in, and as you talk to the coach a little bit about this whole thing, they do have 3 solid running backs that they can run at you all afternoon long. This is the first time this afternoon that we'll see the 5'10", 175-pound senior, and he will get the call, be upended at about the 45-yard line. It'll set up third down and about 3.
A much better job of recognizing that counter that busts for the 80-yard touchdown. This time we wrong arm it and blow up that lead polar and bounce everything back to our buddies. That's the way you got to defend that counter.
Boy, this is almost the play that it's early in the game, but if you're going to try to turn a little momentum at all, this is the play that you need to be able to stop Hope here and get the ball back for your offense. So a big stand right now for Travis Rundle and his defensive.
It's a weighty down. Got to pick it up if you're that Albion defense.
Luthman goes over to the right side to block, and around the end for the first down and then some. Goes Goki again, and Goki all the way up to about the 33-yard line, but we do have a flag down right around that corner where he made that corner turn, and in fact there's 2 flags down. Maybe a holding call that will help the Brits here a little bit.
I see the Hope guys walking backwards. It's clearly going to be against Hope, and that is a huge break for Albion defensively.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty for the previous mistake.
That is the first mistake that Hope has made in this opening quarter, Miles, I'll tell you what. And hopefully it's a big one. How's that, huh?
Yeah, Liebma, number 77, a sophomore from Orlando, Florida.
So instead of 3rd and 3, it's 3rd and 13. That has not been a difficult number for this Hope team here early. Let's hope maybe this will be a little more difficult for them here on this particular play as the Brits need to get off the field. Take the handoff, Cole will drop. He's got Bona coming. Will Bona get him this time? Yes, he will, and he'll throw it out of bounds, but a nice job by Bona to be able to get back there and put some heat on Alex Thole and cause that 4th down and long, which will get the football back to the Britons.
Nice job, Travis Rundle, head coach and defensive coordinator here. Played coverage behind an edge blitz, so they got Bona to come free. Much better job of Bona that time, settling down. Quarterback had to stay and throw it. I thought for a second Jim might get an intentional grounding, but there was a receiver on the sideline.
So the Brits waiting the punt. That's for Kasi, and he will come up and field it at the 20. Gets a block there. Cuts it back now to the sideline. Gets around the edge, and he's at the 40, maybe the 41-yard line, and the Brits have something going. Decent field position for their third effort here of the afternoon.
Kasi, always courageous on the punt return. Get some vertical yardage, and then, he's going to get thumped right there about the 40-yard line. Both these teams laying some lumber early in this one.
Both these teams not afraid to hit you, are they, Miles, huh? No doubt about that. Offensively here for the Brits now, they're looking to get something going. 6:22 to go. They found themselves down 14 points in a hurry. Now they're trying to reestablish the ship a little bit.
Another late coverage shift.
Brits getting that pistol look. And they will fake the handoff, and they're going to go deep. Receiver deep along the sideline will catch the ball, but out of bounds. Nice opportunity for Cameron Moore, but unfortunately the throw let him out of bounds. And a little late. I think if he could have gotten that ball, Crossman could have gotten it to him a little bit earlier. He was kind of open.
Yeah, let it go. See how he doesn't snap through that back leg, doesn't give everything behind it, kind of floats it up. Throw it towards that goal line. Let him run. Moore had his man beat, and I think we're going to get an illegal man downfield anyhow.
Austin Harvey with some good coverage there for the Hope defense.
Did you think there was a little contact, though?
Yeah, there was a little contact down there, no doubt about it. Yep. Could have very easily, I think, gone that direction as well. Second down and 10. I like the idea. I don't mind the idea of trying to throw on first down and maybe throw something over their heads. You had him open, actually, if you could have gotten him the ball a little quicker.
Yeah, great call, great concept, just didn't execute. That was Mixon that they got called for upfield.
So the Britons will have a second down now and 10 as they're back in that pistol look, and they will fake the run again and throw out into the flat. That's Dennison, and Dennison will be close to that first down as he refuses to go down, and he continues into Hope territory for the first down. Give him 12, first down and 10 for the Brits.
Yeah, nice inside fake. You're going to hold the linebackers with the fake, and then you're going to throw that flat screen outside to Dennison, and is that Fracassi getting the good block on the outside? Dennison, storied career here at Albion, continues his solid play.
He really has. I'll tell you what, they're going to be sorry not to see the fifth-year senior from Reading back in a uniform next year, no doubt. Brits will go to the round this time, and a nice little run by Tayshawn Nichols gets about 4. Throwing the ball the last couple times on first down, throwing it over their heads, and this time you go through that draw play.
We've seen a lot of Nichols. You have to see Alex Trudell yet. You wonder if that ankle is still giving him some issues.
You got to kind of wonder because he's standing right on the sideline right now, and he has not been in at all. And a chilly day like today for a bum ankle can be a difficult situation. Second down and called it 7 for the Brits. Rush coming, but they get the ball off, and it's thrown just behind Fracassi, who was open and close to the first down, but the ball just a little bit out of his reach.
And just threw it right before his receiver was expecting it. Nothing more than the curl flat concept. Good read. Just put it in the wrong spot.
Tyler Griffin checks in now, the junior out of St. Clair Shore, 22, the running back. So again, when you start to go through the list that we've seen right now, Dent has been in already as well, and you have no Trudell. You kind of wonder if maybe Alex is not going to get a lot of playing time this afternoon. Third down and 7. Quarterback rolls Crossman, and he throws on the flat, and he throws it again to the Hope defender. I think he thought at that point in time that Connor Davey was going to come back at him, and a little miscommunication causes the second interception of the afternoon.
Yeah, we talked earlier about how Hope allows their guys to get free looks. Well, it's all one-on-one right up there. And then you're going to have a spin move back inside, and that's going to force Crossman out of the pocket.
You see him down there coming towards the ball, and then that one really just thrown too high, too far, too. I'm not even sure that if he came across that, he'd have been able to make the play, but a little miscommunication gives the ball back to Hope.
Was he trying to hit Connor Davey there?
I think so. I believe so. And Davey kind of stopped there in the flat a little bit, and I think Crossman thought he was going to continue that route maybe a little bit. Thole stops, looks, throws. He's got his guy down in the flat. First down into the Britain territory is Caden DeHorn, and the senior out of Houghton Lake flips the field on the Brits.
You're going to get to the edge, right? A lot of young quarterbacks will panic and throw it away, but we're going to wait, allow this to develop across the field. This is great quarterback play by Hope. Thole is elite with his progression reads. Watch that. 1, 2, lets his guy come free, delivers it.
Triples down here on the home side right now. Nobody on the top here for the Flying Dutch. So you got Myers in the middle. DeHorn is the outside receiver, and they'll run the opposite direction. And again, back to Cal Motter, who came back into the game. Motter has played. Goki has played already this afternoon. And Martell, the 3 different running backs. And 5 yards on that first down sets up a second and a very workable 5.
And Mills yet on another tackle. But not many times there's there a play made on the football field where number 13's not in it or near it, right?
No doubt about that. He has had a very solid year of football here for Coach. Thole goes back. Here comes the heat. He'll step in front of it. Now look downfield, and he's got a receiver behind all of the purple shirts, and the touchdown goes to Travis Myers. As that ball right on the money, 48-yard completion and touch will put the Flying Dutch up 20-0.
Now Myers says, my first name is touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. I remember a time back in my history where your first name was Baloney, right? That was Myers too, was it not? That's my
OSCAR.
Oscar Meyer, I think. Nice throw and catch from Alex Thole to Travis Myers. 48 yards makes it 20-0 with the extra point coming from Caden Balkin. Good snap, good hold, good kick. make it 21-0 right now with 3:43 to play in the opening quarter. And you look at this touchdown again.
Yeah, talk about pocket awareness and keeping your eyes upfield. This is fantastic stuff by Theo. Look at that throw. Jim, was like you're playing 7-on-7 in the backyard, isn't it?
Boy, it really was. That time Cameron Jones just kind of got behind the entire play, and the throw really was an easy one to make for the senior Alex Tholes. He put it right on the money, and gosh, 21 points in the first quarter.
I don't know who I'd rather have, St. John or Thole.
Yeah.
Both of them are just outstanding at making plays extend with their feet and their eyes.
You wonder why these two teams are on top of this conference right now. That's primarily why. They always say if you got a quarterback, you got a chance, right?
And next time we watch Thole navigate the pocket, I want you to keep an eye on how his feet never get really wide.
Yeah.
He keeps himself in a great position to throw the football.
Brits have had some good pressure on him right now, but he's been able to navigate it extremely well and then find a receiver wide open somewhere down the field. Johnson again back on the goal line right now, waiting for this kick. And they will kick the ball towards him, but over his head, and I think he's going to bring it out. Here he comes. 15-yard line and upended right there. I'm not sure whether that was a good idea or not, but you know what? Every time you can put the ball in the hands of Johnson, who had a 95-yard return against Trine, I guess is not a bad idea.
Well, you know how you slow a fast guy down? You put your shoulder pad on his thigh pad, and that's exactly what Hope did. Either Tommy Boss or Denny Belmont, both are 24. So somebody in 24 did a nice job on special teams for Hope.
Webcast at albion.edu if you want to talk to us out there. If you're out watching here today, had one check-in from Florida, a Hope fan already, and if you're from Hope or if you're from Albion, either one, let us know what you're thinking and where you're at here this afternoon. Hopefully it's a little warmer where you are than where we are right now, as Nichols gets a little bit of room off that left side and will creep his way up close to about the 16-yard line, so give him one.
And Nolan Viss absolutely timed that snap count on his linebacker blitz, number 28, who seemingly, Jim, we've been calling his name for about 100 years at Hope, right?
Again, yeah, he's one of those guys.
Been playing forever over there. Does a great job as that middle linebacker.
Good, solid football team that basically Peter Sturgeon brings in here this afternoon. Toss goes out to Thomas Smith. Toss goes out, to Amar Hunter. Both of them zeros, and Hunter does a little better job than Smith, I think, running that football. He'll get about 7, set up a third down and a makeable 2 or 3.
And a great block on the edge by Dennison to get Hunter some yardage. It's been their best play here today, that tight end flat screen. Hunter, a guy who has really stepped forward here late in the season.
You know what? It's a situation where we seem to always have a solid a field of tight ends on this football team, and Hunter's just the latest one. Here comes a wide open blitz and a third interception of the afternoon. Goodness gracious, boy, I'll tell you what, Davis Crossman had absolutely no hope. He let that one go, and it is the third pick of the afternoon.
Well, when this comes free right through a gap, that means you're having problems with your pass protection. Nobody picks him up. Crossman has to throw it before he is ready. Is it an interception? Did it skip? Is it a catch?
Yeah. Tough for us to be able to tell from this side, but the officials who are down there who are still talking a little bit about it at this moment, obviously with a much better look. Let's see.
That looks like an interception. Great effort.
Sure does. Nice situation there by Owen Graham.
Let's see if we can get a look at that one, Jim, because I think
defense number 42, 15-yard penalty.
I want you to watch, if we get another shot of it, watch the hit by Viss, okay? Is this targeting? Watch the crown of his head right into the chest of Crossman. Yeah. You're not supposed to lead with your head. I know Viss is a short linebacker, but we've seen that called.
Either way, it did not end well for the gentleman here from Albion this afternoon, as that becomes interception number 3 and a 1st and 10 now for the Hope offense, who has just absolutely dominated the first quarter, being up 21-0. They'll go back to the ground again to Martell. Martell tries to take it outside, and the Brits stretch it out and then knock him out of bounds after just a short pickup.
A nice job by Davis flying up. Since that 80-yard run, Albion has done a much better job against the run game, but it's been the vertical throw for Hope that has been the damage.
It really has, and you know, you always hate to say that, but since that 80-yard run, you know that,
right.
yeah, that's always
Right.
Gosh, yeah, okay, well,
It's still part of the game, right?
since
Can't
then,
take it out.
yeah, since then we've done a little bit better. Thole has some time now. He's running out of time. He walks out of a couple of tackles. How he got out of the backfield is beyond me, and he will be very close to the first down. Took a little head bump there. And gets up looking at his helmet, and the officials looking at him kind of good, too.
Yeah, look at his feet. Just pitter-patter. Keeps climbing the ladder. Gets himself in a good position. And he's going to get a nice collision right here, setting up a 3rd and 1. Mills gets there first. Bono gets there, and hello. That's going to ring your bell. Slow to get up, but I think he's going to be all right.
I think he's okay. 3rd down and 1 for Hope here, and it's actually a short one. They line up again with that single back, and it's Martell who has an easy first down as he spins through the hole to the 40 to the 38, and first down at 10 Hope.
Was it Mills, number 13, that got in the backfield, just barely missed it. Pulled his trigger shot through there. Had he been able to make contact, would have slowed that up or maybe even stopped it.
Very close. Brits have been very close on several plays here in that defensive backfield, but thanks to Alex Thole and the ability to him to escape out of that pocket, really have not been successful with that first, after that one bonus sack. It's the only one we've had. First miss throw really that Thole had. Decent coverage back there, though, by Johnson. And he kind of threw it over everybody's head and out of bounds, and unfortunately, I think that is something that basically Davis Crossman will learn as he gets a little more time under his belt in the MIAA. Just throw the darn thing away.
The weird thing about guys like Thole is they just have that natural ability to get out to the edge, right?
Yeah, they do.
No matter what you do, they just find a way to get outside the pocket. Bad news for everybody in MIAA, just a junior.
Yeah, that's the scary part right there. He's got another year ahead of him. Throw into the flat is completed. The tackle missed. And up the sideline and then out of bounds goes Trevor Griffiths, number 2. Boy, the Brits had an opportunity to stop him before that first down, and we have kind of whiffed on a lot of tackles here this afternoon, too. Not a good job of wrapping up and slowing things down by the Brits defense.
A good read by Thole. You had the one-on-one outside. Instead of give on the run, you're going to throw it out quickly. You get the ball out quick, and it's a one-on-one against man, Jim. A missed tackle turns into big yards.
It does. Caden DeHorn out here, he's the wide receiver, the tall wide receiver here on the far end, and Blanton in the slot, but that will do the run the first quarter out as they Hope taking their time. We'll flip the ends right now, and it's 21-0 Hope as we take a look at a couple of stats here from that first half, that first quarter. So far, Miles, it won't surprise you, 6 first downs to 3 here for Hope. Rushing attempts, Hope has had. This is a little bit of a deceiving number there. They've had 8 rushes for 95 yards, but as you said, 80 of them came on 1 attempt. So 7 for 15, as you said, not a bad situation, only 2 yards a tote. But that 1 for 80 kind of skews the entire thing a different way.
I like how you said you can't take that out, right?
Yeah,
it's still part of it.
Still part of it. 5 passes completed for 105 yards. So in that first quarter already, Hope with 200 yards of offense, 21-yard average on receptions, and a 12-yard average per run. And unfortunately for the Britons, they've had a much more difficult opportunity here in this first quarter, as they've had only 3 rushing yards and only 21 receiving yards. 3 for 10 right now on the afternoon, passing with 3 interceptions. So that has been the difference of the game, and Hope now in the Britons' territory at the 25-yard line, first down and 10 as we open up quarter number 2. That is Motter in the backfield. Low snap, but Thole wasn't going to hand it off anyway as he finds his tight end in the flat for a pickup of about a half a dozen there. So to make it a second down at about 4.
Well, if Albion's going to have any shot, Jim, of coming back in this football game, definitely got to get a red zone stop here. Got to hold this Hope football team to at least a field goal try. Better get a turnover to make things a lot easier as well.
Sky Vanderkool, the big tight end, It came open on the crossing route there across the middle. So 2nd down now and 4, and they will go back to the ground game, and the big opening on the left side for Goki will have the 1st down and then a couple more, as that ball will be spotted down around the 13, 12-yard line, I guess, is where they're going to put a 13-yard line now as they move back forward.
I think Hurst was one of the first guys there, almost made the tackle for Albion.
Boy, this has been an offense that is clicking on all cylinders right now, this Hope offense, and the defense for the Brits. You know what? After just one quarter, 200 yards of offense, they've already played a half on a normal Saturday afternoon, so the Brits going to have to find a way to slow things down just a little bit. Again, right up the middle for the Hope Flying Dutch, and a nice pickup there. About, what did they give you? About 4, maybe 5 for Goki as he trots off the sideline there.
Yeah, Goki came up a little bit lame with that right ankle. Jim, it doesn't matter who's in the backfield for this Hope offense because they all attack the hole. I mean, they are getting to the line of scrimmage quickly.
Well, you said that in the opening comments here we had this afternoon that Alma Hope game could have very easily been won by Hope. They had a great afternoon. They just kind of at the very end of it, they lost in overtime, and they had a difficulty there. Thole still trying to make people miss, and he's still making people miss. Eventually, Rodney Chapman, who missed him the first time, got him on the second try down around the 20-yard line.
They're going to fake the toss sweep, and they're going to try and hit the seam. Watch Chapman, though. This is great stuff. Misses him there, does not quit on it. He's going to keep hustling. Going to keep hustling and hustling. Probably the worst decision of the day for Thole. Probably should have thrown this one away, right?
Yep.
Tries to trust his feet one more time. That's going to make you pay. Great play by that Albion defense. On the back end, covering everybody for that long, that's tough to do.
No doubt about it. So the Britons trying to toughen up here with a 3rd down and a bunch. Is that ball back on the 20-yard line? 18 now is what they need. Thole drops, looks, here comes the heat. Works around, he's going to get bumped. That ball's loose, it could be ours. Scooped up at the 15-yard line, at the 25-yard line. That was Bona, and boy, I'll tell you what, if Bona could have gotten a block there on that one, he had a sideline that was wide open.
Now watch Rayberg on the top side. He's just going to keep working. Great job getting the strip sack from behind. Thole never even recognizes the fact that someone is chasing him from behind. Great effort by Rayberg.
You know what? That's a good sign because the Brits have not given up here at this point in time. And Bona, at that point in time, if he could have gotten a clean block there and maybe gotten his feet under him a little bit, he had a lot of green grass ahead of him, at least to the midfield stripe. Either way, though, a good job by the defense who have given up 3 touchdowns and turned the Hope Flying Dutch away on this opportunity and give that offense another opportunity and another chance. I think we've changed at Crossman. Hands the football to Dent, and Dent still fighting his way across the 45-yard line, and Mr. Dent just went for 25 plus.
Yeah, watch Dent. Going to be a counter. Get the block there. Get the block there. Reads it really well, and then gets vertical. And, of course, when Dent gets going, he is a load. It drags bodies for about 8 more yards. And he is a guy that Coach Rendell always brings up when he mentioned the running back room.
Colton sure thought he had a sure tackle there. Dent just kind of slipped right out of that one to almost the midfield stripe. So maybe that turnover will ignite this offense for the Brits as Dent gets tripped up in the backfield, just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
As this again, number 28 makes a play. The inside linebacker for Hope, boy, he times up that snap count about as good as anybody we've seen this year.
He is just all over the place, isn't he, huh? Amazing situation. Well, the Britons with a 2nd down now and 12. After the strip sack and the fumble recovery there by Bona. Let's see if the Brits can turn this into some points. They really do need to get some crooked numbers up on that scoreboard. They go back to Tyshawn again, and Nichols has no place to go as he gets really back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And he'll set up a 3rd down now, about 12.
Colton Sure dials up a blitz that time, and he gets free. Makes a tackle for loss in the backfield, and that'll slow your drives down in a hurry, right? Long yardage downs allow you on a defense to dictate terms.
Again, Nichols in the backfield again, and again, you gotta wonder Davis Crossman what's going through his mind right now. He's thrown 3 picks already, the freshman, but you gotta have that short memory, right? You gotta have that goldfish memory. We got a flag in the backfield as Crossman goes down under intense pressure, and you got to believe that's probably going to be against us.
Yeah, it's going to be a chop in the backfield. Watch Nichols right there go low, and there it is. 3rd down and long has been an absolute nightmare for Davis Crossman because Hope keeps giving him different looks.
4th down and 12, and the Brits, after the turnover, can absolutely do nothing against this Hope defense, and they're going to have to kick this thing back. Well, it was exciting there for a minute or two there, Miles, you know.
Great run by Dent. Had some momentum after the turnover, but when in doubt, Hope, when they want to get you behind the 6, they start sending guys.
Yeah.
Take apart an A, says, you know what, we'll start blitzing that line of scrimmage again.
And you would think with the line that we've had, it's been pretty solid all year long. Boy, I'll tell you what, Hope has found some cracks in our offensive line. Bowman going to roll to his right and then kick it away. Reams waiting for it. He'll let it bounce, and Bowman gets another one of those big, long rolls all the way down to the 5 and will be down right there. Nice job by Bowman to kick that ball away. 48 yards, I guess, on that kick.
And he comes over, gets a nice fist bump from Brian Sanders, special teams coach for Albion. That's some good play.
I'll tell you, that has been maybe the one bright spot that we've had this afternoon. Bowman with 2 punts here that have rolled out to over 50 yards, or right at 50 yards twice, and now puts the Hope Flying Dutch back in a very nasty spot on the 5-yard line. Let's see if we can't come up with another one of those strip sacks right here for maybe a defensive score. Thole turns and goes back to the running game, and the Britons clog that hole up and slow everything else down. That's Martell, who got maybe a short pickup of a couple, where the Brits are able to wrap him up and knock him down.
Yeah, Indy Hurst, great job playing low pad level. I know we've said it a couple times, Jim, but take away the 80-yard run.
Yeah.
Line of scrimmage.
We have done a decent job all the way around, no doubt. So Hurst, number 98, as the Brits starting to bring a lot of different looks and a lot of different people into the game nowadays. Getting some of the younger guys some playing time on a Saturday afternoon. Maybe not help this year, but you know what? Could help a lot next year. Throw out into the flat is completed. And no matter how hard he tries, Johnny Rowan Blanton can't get loose. He has enough for the first down, unfortunately, but was not able to shake out of that tackle. It'll be 1st down and 10 as Hope able to get out of the shadow of the end zone.
The second time they've ran that concept, gets out of the quarterback's hand quickly. You got that 1-and-1 on the edge. If you don't get that tackle quickly made, it's going to be extra yardage.
Up on the top side, you've got Travis Myers, 5 in the slot.
Can't miss him with those shoes, can you?
No, you can't. Those orange shoes will give it away. He's got those Hope tennies on today. Run would go for about a half a dozen on the left side as Hope goes right back to that ground game. And I really be surprised if they didn't use an awful lot of that running game between now and the end of this game with a 21-point cushion here this early.
Well, those orange shoes, Jim, they remind me of highways here in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, all the cones there. Yeah.
That's right. Look at those bright orange.
The way you can tell Myers and Blanton apart 5 and 6 are those shoes. There's no doubt about that. As Myers sporting the Hope specials here this afternoon.
He could get a job for MDOT, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could, just standing around. Running play's not going anywhere this time as the Britons sniff it out and knock it down in the backfield.
Ziska dives in the backfield. The freshman gets in there and celebrates with a big play. You deserve it.
That, again, is another new name and another new number and a great result there by the young freshman. And you talk about the coaching, and you talk to the coaches about their younger class, and I think they're pretty happy with most of the freshmen that came into Albion College this year, Miles.
Yeah, retention's going to be a big thing. Make sure they stay here, let them grow. Huge 3rd down. Get off the field here.
3rd and 7, 17. Thole looking to run. All of a sudden, that pathway closes up, so he'll go around the corner, and he'll knock out of bounds just before he gets to the sticks. And a late flag, I think, is going to be called on the Brits for maybe a late hit. Boy, that'd be a shame because
Olenek takes it away first. They want to throw it to the right-hand side, but he's in the way, and then Thole's going to take it and go. Mills has him hemmed up, gets him out of bounds short of the first down.
Boy, I don't know about that one. I mean, that was just a continuation by Mills on the sideline, and he didn't even really throw him at all. It's just kind of the way that it worked.
They should wave this one off after they talk.
Man, I would have to think, watching that replay. Oh,
Debus comes over and gets
man,
him.
Again, watching that play one more time, just watch this. And again, you understand we're here doing the Albion game. But Debus just almost had a ticket to watch this thing for my money. He didn't really. There he sits. He kind of bumped him, but that was accidental, and I just.
Was he blocked into him, too?
Yeah, I just don't know about that one. Martell's got the football, and he's into Albion territory across the 50 to about the 47-yard line. Should be another first down, but, boy, watching that replay, I think you just got to pick that one back up and put it in your pocket for my money.
Yeah, we've seen a lot worse not get called.
Yeah, no doubt about that. If he would have been, again, did he get blocked in? He was engaged in the block until he took that step and ran into him on the sideline. Well,
at some point in time, we're going to have to bubble wrap quarterbacks, aren't we?
I think so. First down and 10. Thole has been a magician in that backfield, though. Boy, you have a whale of a time bringing him down as he rolls and throws, and this one over the head of the intended receiver, and incomplete midway down the line. And I'll tell you what, that was a new number again, 87 coming out.
Goldie is coming across that formation. They love to run the tight ends on a drag, and Thole, if he's watching film tomorrow, he's going to hit the table saying, I should have had that one. Worst throw of the afternoon.
Had a wide open tight end just standing there waiting for that ball. He's not missed too many of those. I don't think he's missed too many of those all year long. So 2nd down and 10 now, 6:17 to play opening quarter. Hope on top by 21 points here as we work our way towards the half. Another first down run again by Cal Motter, and Motter, boy, I tell you what, it doesn't matter who they bring off that bench, do they? They can all handle that football, and they can all tote that rock.
Yeah, Motter might be on the sideline, but when he comes back in and it's going to be a big play, they say, welcome back, Motter. He's going to get some big yardage every time they give him the football.
Yeah, no doubt. So the first down run sets up a first down and 10. Ball at the 36-yard line for Hope. Go back here to that look with Cal Motter. It is his series, and he will go in motion towards the left side. Thole being chased out of the pocket, looking across the middle of the field, now down in the corner. He's got a receiver inside the 10 to the 5, heading towards the right corner, and an easy run in. That's Trevor Griffiths, the junior, for the 4th score of the afternoon for the Hope Flying Dutch.
Yeah, sometimes guys just make plays, right? You got dudes. What do dudes do? They make plays. Watch Thole. He is going to be dead right there. Mills has him, and he's like, you know what? I'm just going to scoot by. Alex Olenek, I know you're really good too, but I'm going to run right by you. And then how about that, Jim? Rolling to his left and throws it on a rope. And this watch guys run right by for an easy touchdown. This Hope football team, they're impressive.
They really are. And I'll tell you what, though, that interior line has gotten away with a whole bunch of grabs here this afternoon. If you saw the jersey, they seem to be able to grab and hold for just a little bit, and they've done it very well this afternoon. Gave Thole just a little extra time.
You say hold as a former lineman. I say creative blocking, Jim.
There you go. All I know is that when the jersey comes down over across the shoulder pad, normally that was a very creative block, I guess. We'll give it to that way. How's that?
Remember years ago, Bill Belichick had the philosophy, hold all you want. They're not going to call it enough to hurt you.
Yeah, no doubt. They've not called it at all yet this afternoon, and there have been a couple of them that I think they might have been able to go back and rejudge maybe just a little bit, not to in any way demean our officials this afternoon. But some of those plays in the middle where Thole's getting loose, he's getting loose because there's a jersey being grabbed. So And when you watch them on the replays, you can kind of find them a little bit more. But 28-0 either way. I don't think the score is going to change with a holding call here or there. Britons find themselves in a big hole, and Hope's going to get the football to open up that second half once we get to that point. Johnson to get in the middle. And he is definitely intent on bringing this thing back no matter what. Oh, they're going to kick it short. Fair catch at the 24-yard line will give the football to the Britons.
A nice job of getting your special teams, Danny Tovar, to understand situations. He goes back and fair catches it on the little pooch. Looked like one of your pitching wedges.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it, huh? Yeah.
Nice loft to it from about 120.
No doubt. It looked like, where's the flag? I was looking for the flag stick right there, you know. It did remind me a lot of that.
Remember that time that we couldn't find your ball and you thought it was in the cup and it was actually in the drink?
Yeah. It happens a lot to me, Miles. It really does. There's no doubt. Nichols again in the backfield here for the Britons. They need to get something going. To tell you what, it would be nice to see the Brits finally put something on the scoreboard as Nichols goes right up the middle with a nice hole for about a half a dozen. It'd be good to be able to see them to somehow be able to get something going here before the half's over. As Danitz is the guy that makes the stop.
Well, that certainly will help. Winning on first down, right? Getting 5 yards. How about the spin move in the hole? Johnson, heck of an athlete.
So here we go again. Fake, then throw out into the flat. Nice little catch by Cameron Moore, and Moore will work his way up the sideline for the first down. There's a number and a name that we don't call enough, I think, on a Saturday afternoon, and you have to somehow get him involved, I think, this afternoon. Look at those shorts. Did you wear those when you were playing on Friday nights and Saturday afternoons, huh?
I'm not sure those are legal, but you got legs like that, you show them off.
That's where I'm at, too, man. He's got the pads in there, I guess, and that's all you basically need.
And Moore had an opportunity early in this game, got vertical, but Crossman just couldn't find him. 36 catches coming into the day.
Fake the dent, then throw it up on the top side, and the completion is to Ethan Barker. And Barker will have the first down, move the ball into Hope territory, and this is the best drive we've seen of the afternoon for the Brits.
I think Albion might have got away with some creative blocking on the edge there to get some extra time.
Yeah, you know, if you're going to let creative blocking go on one side, you let it go on the other side, right? You call it that way all afternoon, and you can't complain much. Quick little toss out the side. I thought that was a good idea to Connor Davey, but the ball not on the money. But Davey had a blocker or two in front of him, and, you know, Connor's pretty difficult to pull down on that outside.
Yeah, Crossman tries to throw it like Patrick Mahomes, drops his elbow down, doesn't get his feet set, gets out there quickly. But the incompletion going to put him down at 2nd and 10.
You know what? It's so good for Crossman to be able to get a lot of playing time this year, the way that he has done. You know, you feel sorry for Allie Murray, who came back this year and was hoping to play a lot of football. But for the future of this team, the freshman year for Crossman, even though it's ended an awful lot just like that, as Danitz gets him coming around the corner like that, it's going to really pay off, I think, next year and the years to come.
Yeah, Danitz with his sack, 10.5 sacks now on the year for Hope.
Man. And again, you told me that the 6'5", 225-pound senior is a sprinter. And we saw it right there, too, didn't we?
Yeah, he can sprint quickly to the quarterback, as he showed right there.
Crossman had no opportunity whatsoever to get away from that young guy. So, third down now on a whole bunch for the Brits. Let's see if they can make something happen. Crossman going to drop. Here comes the rush. He throws it out into the flat, and unfortunately, Hope saw that one coming, and there was absolutely no place to go for the Brits as Tyler Griffin wrapped up quickly and dropped for just a couple-yard loss.
Just absolute fantastic work by Viss on the inside. You have A-gap responsibility on the run, and if they're going to throw it out to the flat, you got to run out there and get there. Number 28, heck of a football player for Hope.
I would say to the folks who are listening, watching down in Florida, maybe who are asking about, you know, how can this MIAA play out this year, and who's going to win the conference and everything. If it continues and everybody wins out, I would guess that Hope has an opportunity to make it into the into the NCAA tournament this year. If they can win out and have just that one loss against Alma, obviously the MIAA tournament The champion is going to go into the NCAA tournament with the automatic bid. But I would have to think that if it stays the way that it is, there is a chance maybe both these teams could get in. Got flags in the backfield. What's happening, Miles? Roughing the kicker, maybe? Holding? What do we have? We got a little confab going with the officials right around the 40-yard line.
We're going to try and figure things out, but it's back in that area where it is contact with the leg.
Personal foul. Leaping.
15
yards for the previous spot. The result of the play.
Well, there you go. Leaping. I don't know. Do we have that one on in the rack there at all, Kenny? Can we bring that back and see if we can? That's almost like getting you ready for Christmas, right? 8 Lords Leaping or something like that. Isn't that a Christmas song?
I think this is a rule that was instituted because Lanny Poffo, Leaping Lanny Poffo, used to jump over top of that protector to get the block punt.
Well, the good news is the penalty moves the football into Hope territory at about the 47-yard line and gives the Brits the ball back. First down at 10, 2:56 to play, opening half. So the Brits have, again, another opportunity to try to make this whole thing work before the half. Handoff comes right up the middle, and it's going to go for a very short gain, if any, as Nichols got the football and got back to the line of scrimmage, and then not much more. Too many white jerseys around him.
Tate Bizu, the junior from Saline, Michigan. Well, he got upfield so fast that the blocks on the counter could not reach him.
How many times have we said that this afternoon about this Hope front? Miles, I'll tell you what, they get off the ball quickly, don't they, huh?
They sure do. Look at the sprinter stance that they use to get there.
Nichols again on the counter, walks out of the first tackle, out of the second tackle, and then a whole bunch of Flying Dutchmen finally get him as he crosses the 45-yard line at the 44.
Yeah, Jim, you're going to be a really good defense. You got to have guys that want to be sharks, eating up chum into water, right?
Yeah.
8 helmets, sharks attacking the chum, running over there. It looked like it was going to be a big play, but the pursuit of this Hope defense, fantastic.
Yeah, all over the place. You wonder at times if they've got 12 of them out there at times, the way that they've swarmed to the ball this afternoon. So it'll set up a third down and about 7 for the Britons as we have a timeout, and we do have the 2-minute timeout coming our way as well. Hasn't warmed up around here. Sun's still under the clouds, and it's still probably somewhere in that upper 40s, I would think, with the wind down into the lower 40s. And it has been a chilly afternoon, especially for the Britons offense.
Stick around. Chief Meteorologist Jim Funderburg will tell you what the week looks like.
Yeah. Is there snow in the forecast, I guess, is what we're looking at. News and commentary after the commercial break here. Yeah, no doubt.
Go to Bigfoot Doppler radar. I'll let you know.
No doubt about that. Halftime, we obviously have the Brigade, and I think they have a couple of high school bands, local high school bands that are helping here at this point in time. Says we got one here from Jake Krause. Says, guys, a Hope fan. Here a couple things. Great broadcast. Best in the MIAA from what I've seen so far. Well, there you go. Cooper Clark, number 45, is doing kickoffs instead of the Balkan today. Another thing that is, I think that Albion's quarterback is young and has a lot of upside, and we will definitely agree with you on that one.
Who was it? Jerry Krause?
Jerry.
What was the name?
I have to go back here and look at it. I lost my screen here real quick.
208 now. Got an opportunity to get some points on the board here for Albion.
Yep, Jake Krause. How's that? Not Jerry Krause. Yeah.
Jake's a smart man. I like Jake a lot.
Yeah, it says from Jake Roll Dutch, he says as well. Jake, good to have you out there. And it's
thanks, Jake.
Yep. First down and 10 for the Brits. And I'll tell you what, right back at you, this football team you brought into Albion this afternoon has been a whole lot of fun to watch. Even though we're down 28 right now.
Best throw of the afternoon by Crossman right there on the out route to his big play receiver on the outside, Cameron Moore. Jake, you think he works at State Farm?
I could be.
Think he wears khaki pants? Poor Jake. How many times do you think he's heard that joke?
Yeah, a million times, Well, if he's got an orange shirt on, he'd look maybe a little like Jake because Jake wears the red one. But it could be, it could mistake that with that Hope orange a little bit.
It's nice of Jake to chime in.
It is, Jake, and thank you for that too as well for the for 45 as Cooper Clark doing the kickoffs today for Hope. So 2 minutes to go. We've got the 2-minute timeout. Britons have still an opportunity. They have all 3 of their timeouts left, And they have the football on the 34-yard line of Hope, first down and 10.
Hope has brought 4 or 5 guys. Here comes the 5th guy on the outside.
Dent tries to get between the crease there, and boy, everybody. Danitz is the first guy along with 2 or 3 helpers. And we have a player down in the backfield here for the Brits right now. We're going to try to figure out that number at this moment, but I think it's one of the offensive linemen. 74.
And Drew Morris is down right now. Never like to see that as they're looking at his left leg. You wonder if somebody rolled up on him.
Everything kind of just collapsed there in the middle, and that does happen oftentimes when you have a situation like that. Trainer's out now taking a look at him. Everything's stopped now with 1:54 to go.
The result of that injury is a 10-second runoff. Hope has elected to have that 10-second runoff. Use the second game clock to 1 minute 44 seconds.
There you go. So the
After the injury, the game clock will start.
I do understand the runoffs and everything else, because you do have a situation where feigned injuries every now and then will slow things down. But
you can thank Buddy Ryan for that years ago. He had his guys just take a dive when teams were in no huddle and to slow things up. But to me, though, it makes no sense. Why would you have an offensive guy?
Yeah.
I never get the runoff with an offensive player.
I've had a difficult time with the whole runoff thing. It puts you into some really weird situations at times. I think we saw one a little earlier this year. I think when we were playing a game and we had a 10-second runoff, and it just absolutely down in the last. We had to decide whether we wanted to take a timeout or a 10-second runoff when we were down in the last minute of the game. We're still in the game, and either one cost us dearly. It just was a nightmare at this point in time. Hunter with the reception. He'll be down around the 30-yard line after the catch. And the clock will continue to run now, make it 3rd down and about 6 for the Britons.
And nice block by Dennison on that flat screen again. Good to see Morris up and moving around on the sideline. Don't be surprised if you see him back in the game.
Yeah, I think so too. But again, a scary situation as you're bringing back in and letting him play a little football here today. So here comes the Britons. Nichols in the backfield for the Brits. Pistol look again for the Brits. A couple receivers here right in front of us. The throw to the sideline is caught. Nice job by Moore. And he will be close to that first down, but I think he was wrapped up just a little bit short.
Throw it right now, and he's got a chance. Just a tick up behind, and Moore's got to wait for it. Tries to make a man miss. But, boy, this is a sure tackling football team.
Austin Harvey. Yeah, Austin Harvey made that tackle right there. And, again, we have missed a couple of tackles in this first half that have cost us dearly, and Hope has not missed a single tackle this afternoon.
Well, it's a weird spot, Jim, because the near official has the football on the 27, but you look at the stick across the way, it looks like it's more closer to the 28.
Yeah.
So it's 4th down and 2+. I think there's no doubt about it, though. Travis Rundle, head football coach at Albion. You're down 28-0 with 45 seconds left in the half. You go, right?
Got to go. No doubt about that. Got to pick up this first down. And with 2 timeouts left here to call yet, you still are hopeful that maybe you can take this into the locker room at 28-7.
Your best pass play has been the flat screen to the outside involving your tight ends with Dennison blocking, or a quick little route outside with Moore. I'm not sure that you're going to run the football between the tackles here. One thing we do know, though, on big plays, Hope, they're going to dial up some pressure. Look for number 28, Viss, to be activated here.
Down here in front of us is Ethan Barker. He's the wide receiver on this top. Johnson is on the top of your screen, clear at the top, and Dennison in the slot. So 4th down and about 3 for the Brits. They'll fake the run and throw the ball across the middle and off of Dennison's hands and incomplete down around the 6-yard line. Again, nice coverage by Trenton Bolhouse.
Dennison's going to break the route out, going to run a dig in front of the safety. They're going to try and wall off the safety. Ball's a little bit high. If you throw it below the chin, I think it's going to be a first down. Goes up high, allows the safety to impact that catchability.
again, you look at that freshman quarterback. These are the throws he's making this year. It's going to be a whole lot of fun to see what kind of throws he's making next year, because if that ball's on the money, as you said, we're sitting here at a situation where we're first and goal.
Oh, ball placement is so huge, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
one of those skills that you have to develop.
And you don't get it normally when you're a freshman. That's for darn sure. We've seen a couple of freshman quarterbacks in this conference that have been able to do that, but they are few and far between. I got to believe they're going to keep it on the ground. No, they will not. Throw's going to throw this across the middle, and he does have his receiver across the 50-yard line. That's Caden DeHorn, and DeHorn will take it into Britain territory. And you want to talk about keeping the foot on the gas? Maybe that has something to do with who's playing who here this afternoon, too.
Yeah, don't forget, this is one of those games where teams don't really like each other a great deal, so you get a chance in the first half to add points, you're gonna.
You bet. You know that old Woody Hayes thing. Why'd you go for 2? Because I couldn't go for 3, right? That kind of thing. Yeah. Pretty much that's kind of how these two teams feel about one another, even though it's 28-0.
Also, one of those things too. If you get a chance to practice your up tempo,
Yeah.
2-minute, you go ahead and do it. You're going to need it when you get to the playoffs. And 3 timeouts still in the hip pocket for Hope.
Yeah, and again, I'll go back to the comment that I made. Watching this team today and watching Alma, those are two teams that could very legitimately be in the NCAA playoffs this year, and deservingly so. I think they're two teams that are well enough equipped to play in that tournament, and it could be a situation where you see both of them here, no matter who wins this conference this year. Again, a first down for DeHorn as he puts both hands on it and then steps out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, just a quick little stop. You're going to run about 10 yards and expose your chest to your quarterback. Let him throw it to your outside number so you can get out of bounds.
So Alex Thole, the junior, moving his football team down the field here with very little time in this first half, looking for points number 34 and 35 possibly in their mind. They'll fake the run, but they're going to throw this thing. And he will throw that away wisely. I don't know that you could say it was intended for anybody, but I guess Trevor Griffiths would be the guy who was the closest guy in the area, but he was a good 7-8 yards up the sideline there.
Albion brought Bona on some outside pressure. Remember, he had a sack or near sack in the first quarter, working one-on-one against the elusive Alex Thole.
14 ticks left in this first half. Alex Thole there with a single running back in the backfield, but I don't believe we're going to see any kind of running plays here as Thole's going to throw this thing to the end zone, and he's got his man for the touchdown. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so that happens to be Johnny Rowan Blanton. You know how I know that? Who that is? He doesn't have the orange shoes on.
JRB is just going to work his way all the way across the formation.
Yeah.
Thole does a really good job. Second time in this football game that Thole has navigated that secondary by leaving the pocket, moving his eyes, and then getting a receiver coming back all the way across from the other side.
Blanton this year with 41 catches. He came into the game here today. We'll check on how many he's got this afternoon. He's got 2 or 3, so he's somewhere around that 45 mark as the extra point goes through the uprights. And just like that, when you think maybe Hope's going to take a knee and head to the nice warm locker rooms here, they decide to, why don't we just go the length of the field and put 7 more points on the scoreboard. That one was missed, actually. Pushed a little bit wide left.
How in the world, when Alma and Hope played early in the year, the score was only in the mid-20s.
Yeah.
I mean, if they played again, wouldn't you be surprised if it was like a 50-point game on both sides?
Yeah, you would think that. But again, a couple of solid defenses. I mean, this is Albion has no points on the board for a reason, right? This afternoon. But I agree with you. The offense was that dynamic. There's no doubt.
Both defenses are solid, but no doubt about it. Both their offenses are so good.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised that score was where it was at.
Yeah, and you know what that is? That is kind of a traditional MIAA football Saturday afternoon to watch teams go, 54-48. Those are always fun games, and they do play well. But Hope again went for the jugular, and they got it, man. 34-0 with the kick. Percassi will pick it up at around the 15-yard line, looking for some room. He's still focused. He's still running. 37-yard line, and that will run the clock down to 000 and run us to the half. All right, we have reached halftime here in Albion, and it is all hope this afternoon, 34-0. We'll have the Brigade coming on here in just a minute as we take a look at just some really quick preliminary stats here this afternoon. It has been a difficult situation this afternoon for the Britons, as I'm going to have to actually upgrade my stats here as we're 21-0 here at the end of the start of the second quarter. So we're going to maybe look and see if these have been updated at all as well. So we'll pass on that one, and we'll just get ready to go down to the Britons Brigade on the sideline and go that direction. So with that, I'm going to turn this thing all over to the Britons Brigade as they're on the sideline. There are cookies in the house, and we will definitely grab one of those. How's that? Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, how about President Webster giving us
the President's a good man.
Some cookies.
With that, we need you on for our producer as well, as he says, hey, buddy, you're letting us out here. Mr. Reeker has done a hard first half of work, and I'm going to let him and the Brigade take over the halftime for us. We also have a little halftime interview with the coach today to see whether he is going to want to kick this thing or what's he going to do? Punt it or kick it, or what is he going to do? Punt it or go for it. That's right, with the coach here this afternoon as well. So at halftime here on the Britain Sports Network, the Britons find themselves down 34 points in the hole here at halftime, 34-0. The Brigade on the field with a halftime presentation.
Next we head down south where there's route line 3 times, and the road leads back to you. Featuring soloist Ethan Thomas, we have Georgia on my mind. We Help Alabama, we're coming to you.
All right, Coach, you ready for punt it or let's go?
Let's go.
I have 4 of them, buddy, and then we'll come back and ask you your keys for the victory against Hope after that. Coach, number 1, Halloween decorations. The Rundle house, is it full of decorations? Punt it or let's go?
Oh yeah, go for it. We get into it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my wife is looking year round for Halloween decorations when she's going around.
Really?
So she gets into the Halloween. Yeah, yeah.
As long as those pumpkins are spray painted purple, though, right?
Purple, right? That's my mom's big thing too. Yeah.
I like that. All right, Coach. This one really, I just don't understand it. You see it on Saturdays and Sundays all the time. Guys with 2 mouthpieces dangling from their face mask.
Yeah.
Punt it or let's go.
On it. That's yeah.
What is that all about?
No idea. No idea. Yeah.
It's crazy to me. And of course, they got to be the glow in the dark lime green ones, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
always a receiver kid that has that.
And the DBs, like it's never an offensive lineman or a linebacker, right? Yeah. It's
Oh, no. So bizarre on that one. All right, Coach. Number 3 for you. We talk a lot about Christmas music and everybody loves it or hates it. But what about Halloween music? Punt it or let's go.
let's go for it. Let's put on Thriller all day and we'll have some fun.
You and the staff get together and you guys do the Michael Jackson Thriller?
If it pops out in practice, then I'm sure a lot of people will be busting out the first few moves of it. And beyond then, that's probably all they know.
That's awesome. Last one for you, Coach. The color scheme of blue and orange. Punt it or let's go.
Yeah, we're punting it. We're punting it.
Yeah, right. Who wears that?
Any when my wife and I had kids, anything that got sent to us baby clothes wise, if it was blue or orange, that was right, got sent right back or right in the garbage. Yeah. That's this thing is, yeah, I mean that's the rivalry's 365 days a year, right? Like there's no blue and orange going on. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. All right.
Back here in Albion, Jim Fudberg along with Miles Holliday this afternoon, and our stats have not been updated to the half right now, Miles, but I'll give you a couple that are pretty much solid. Pass defense, Graham from Hope with 2 interceptions already, and I guess this is the 3rd time he's done that, according to our friend Jake from State Farm out there that's doing everything with us, right? He says he's seen that joke a couple of times or heard that joke a couple of times there, Miles. How's that?
Jake's a good dude, man. He said he liked what we were doing, so he's number 1 in my book.
And he also gave us an interesting Alex Thole on his 3rd team right now. And you could tell, man, the young man is very composed, very solid.
I will help him find his 4th team as long as it's out of the NCAA.
If we can move him maybe to Western Michigan or something, huh? I think maybe he ought to try an opportunity there in the MAC might be a good thing for him. How's that, huh?
A truly talented young man, does a great job of navigating the pocket, keeps his eyes upfield. He has been sensational. I don't know who I'd rather, him or St. John from Alma. They're both just fantastic quarterbacks.
They really are. Well, and when you're thinking about this young man being a junior and St. John being a senior, obviously one more year under his belt, but I'll tell you what, he's been a heads-up ball player, and Peter Sturzman has really done a good job of making this Hope program as strong as what it is. Big, long kick will go through the end zone, and Hope will have the ball for the first time after they, worked the last minute of the first half to go down and put that extra touchdown on the board. Now, as a Albion football player and coach and fan, you go into halftime after this team just basically took the ball and didn't take a knee and just basically forced it right down your throat. I would have to think that maybe that gives you just a little bit of incentive to come out and play a little football in the second half, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, well, it's a team that Albion has given effort all throughout the season, despite a 2-5 record and kind of struggling at times. The effort's been there, Jim. Just the results haven't.
It has. Toll going to throw this one on first down, and that was just a little bit short. But boy, I'll tell you, good idea. Had his guy Travis Myers out here, and Myers dove for it, but it couldn't quite get to it. Again, Myers with those
traffic cone shoes.
Wonderful. We'll call them Hope shoes. How's that? Myers still on the field. Rowan Blanton checks out of the game right now.
Jim, you're a sneaker guy, right?
Yeah, I am.
Did you have some Chuck Taylors back in the day?
I still have
those?
Chuck Taylors. Why they really didn't need to reinvent the shoes after the Chuck Taylors, did they? Huh?
Nope.
Martell with the football, and he'll have the first down. He's out across the 35-yard line.
Yeah, really nice patient run by Martell. You're going to watch it right here. He's going to read the inside block right there, make the cut, and come back and make another cut off the great block by Lumen. Boy, Seth Lumen, number 40, he is just a dude bulldozing guys out of the way in their run game.
Adam Mills eventually makes the tackle for the Britons, but not before the first down by Martell. And I do believe it's gotten colder up here in the second half. Miles, you're dressed with like 4 layers of thermal on.
Should have wore my fur coat that I like to break out in the winter.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that. You have to bring that basketball coat out here, no doubt. That's Travis Myers, the young man on the catch there, and he spins out of a tackle. And he will set things up for a second down and about 4 here now for Hope.
You said basketball. We'll be back in the Kresge before you know, but did you happen to see Jody May, head basketball coach here? Did you see his Halloween costume yesterday?
No, huh? What was he?
He was either Maverick or Goose.
Oh, wow, really?
From Top Gun.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that one. No, I missed that. And I didn't see him last night at the volleyball game either. So they were dressed up last night at the Kresge Center. It was a whole lot of fun to be able to see that. Last evening as Martell again with the football, and he'll be just a little bit short as he crosses the 45-yard line and put him down at the 46, about a yard shy.
Brett Showers, big offensive lineman, 6'6", 307 from Mason, Michigan, helped clear out the path. This is a bunch of big dudes on that offensive line for Hope.
Third down now and short as Ellie Vanderveen right in front of us here. He's the wide receiver on the Albion side. Only 2 wide receivers here right now for Hope, and they will go on the ground. And, oh, my gosh, the hole opened up. A huge hole on that right side. And into Albion territory goes number 22, Cal Motter, as they move these 2 guys around.
Number 77, Lima got the double team and then worked up to the linebacker. That is fantastic work on the right-hand side. You know it's really well blocked, Jim, when number 72 Showers pulls around and there's no one there to block.
Yeah, Divas was the gentleman on the tackle, but not before the first down run. 12 and a half minutes to go, third quarter. First drive of the second half as Hope has the football, and they're looking to throw again. And on the money for the touchdown, all the way in, and an easy little pitch and catch. We got a flag down around the middle there somewhere.
And there's a flag down about the 42-yard line, and Albion's guys are hanging around saying it's going to be against Hope.
Well, there was I'm not sure. Well, we'll see what the call is real quick.
I think it's going to be a legal man downfield.
That's what I was thinking, because there looked like there was a great big guy down there around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it was Liebma that got upfield.
That shouldn't have been down there, and he kind of quickly exited off the sideline there, but I think the officials had already seen him, and now he's trying to hide from the coach, I believe.
Well, these deep crossing routes by Hope today have been a huge problem for this Albion secondary.
So take that touchdown off the scoreboard right now. Leave it 34-0. And set up a first down now at about 17. Scoreboard's had some troubles here at halftime, up and going again, and stats have not been updated a little bit, so we can't give you any live stats here, but we will hopefully get to those. Fake and the throw, and again, that crossing pattern, middle of the field is wide open for the first down and the catch to Liam Young.
Yeah, watch the fake in here. Watch how Thole will just drag it through, and it's going to open up this area right there because the linebackers got a bite on it.
And they definitely did.
Well, that's fantastic play-action work by your quarterback.
So the first down and 10 here at the 28-yard line now for Hope. And they got Gorky in the backfield, and they will hand that to him. And Trey Gorky will go across the 25 to about the 23-yard line.
Good block by McAleese, the senior center from Brownstown. Gibraltar Carlson used to play them.
Yeah, there you go.
Back in the day.
Later in Tams on the tackle for the Britons there, but not before they pick up about 5 yards. So second down and about 5 now for Hope.
Let's see if Hope takes a shot here on 2nd and 5.
Nope, they'll go onto the ground, and that kind of crossed everybody up, and the Trey Goki again will go in from about 25 yards out for the easy touchdown. And you know what? I'll tell you, the Brits got thinking pass, and they just kind of stuck run right by him.
Yeah, the pride of Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Wow.
Does what you should do when you have a giant hole. Just style and profile your way into the end zone.
I'll tell you what, if you want to take a picture of that one, the blocking, the Hope sideline going crazy right now, but that thing was blocked to perfection. I mean, I tell you what. As slow as what I am, I would have probably gotten that one in. There was just a wide gap that nobody was around.
We have talked a lot about the different running backs that Hope will put in, but it really doesn't matter when you're executing the run game with that offensive line and complementary tight ends and the fullbacks coming and helping out on the run scheme. They are blocking things up about as clean as you can.
Well, and again, we sit here and talk about who the better team is between Hope and Alma. Well, Alma came into town, and we played them relatively tough for the afternoon. This has not been a ball game from the opening kick, pretty much. 41-0. Hope just pretty much scoring at will here this afternoon against the Britons. Johnson will go back deep for Kasi here a little bit closer on the Albion side, number 15. Griffith on the other side, waiting for this kick. Last time they did a little kicking, they basically just popped one up. Daniel Klein now doing the kickoff here for Hope. As they're changing numbers and guys, and he's going to pop this one up again. And I'll tell you what, that's a tough one to field, but it is field right there around the 33-yard line, 34-yard line.
The second time Danny Tovars played that well. Remember, when it hits that ground,
yeah,
it's a grenade. It can go anywhere, right?
Yeah. And again, you're not going to kick that all the way back to Johnson and allow him to bring one back necessarily, but Tovar is kind of saying, hey, hold on a minute. I got an 85 on my shirt. I'm up here a little bit closer, you know what I mean? That ball was supposed to go back behind me. So Tovar with a nice job, especially on that one when it did get the ground. As you said, Miles, he was able to cover that one all up. Okay, here we go with the Britons now. Let's see if we can't get on the scoreboard somehow here this afternoon. Crossman turns and hands the football off, and that is Dent. And Dent has a little room as he gets tackled by the ankle around the 37-yard line.
Looks like some new jerseys are in for this Hope defense, but the result is still there. They're going to be a good tackling team. They do a great job of getting to the legs of ball carriers and getting them to the ground.
And we're going to be going for some new numbers here right now because there are a whole lot of new faces in there. That was Keaton Hendricks that made that tackle there for Hope. Second down at about 6. Fake in the throw. And again, I think a little confusion there as to what the route was going to be run as basically the receiver cut it off inside, turned that thing inside. Dylan Dennison did, and I think the quarterback, David Crossman, thought he was going to go out towards the sideline, threw it over everybody's head and out of bounds.
You had that problem when you were a kid playing in the yard at Troy, right? Out on the street, turn right at the Buick, and you turned left.
Well, I could never tell my left from my right, Miles, so that was always a problem. That's why I played center, right? You just go snap that ball, will you? And make sure you remember the number. I said 2, man, not 1. All right, through to the sideline to Dennison again over his head and out of bounds, and that'll set up a 4th down play now for the Britons, and they're going to be forced to kick this thing back.
They tried to fit it in between the flat defender and the corner. Small window. Dennison ran a really good route, just small window to throw it into.
So the Britons have the ball for 3, and they're going to kick this bad boy right back. And Bowman comes in to kick this thing back, and Gavin Reams stands back around his 27-yard line. The last couple of times that ball's been kind of kicked away from him, and Reams has had to let it go and watch it bounce. This time he's going to let it. Oh, it's stuck to his hand. I think I'm not sure that he reached out and said, "Look what I found there." At that point, if that ball is about an inch farther, it catches his fingers and is continuing to roll to the goal line, and the Brits are chasing it. But instead, he had just enough stick him on that glove to make that bad boy stay.
A World Series Game 7 tonight.
Yeah.
He can play shortstop for either one of the teams.
Man, I guess so.
Handled that ground ball really well.
That was amazing the way that he was able to pull that ball in. So 1st down and 10 now. Again, Hope with the football, and I think we have now changed quarterbacks here for this team as well. So we'll go to a new quarterback, and a new number 11 now is Billy Sternberg. And Hope will go to the running game here with the new quarterback Sternberg, and there's really not much room.
Yeah, I think they went with their second team offensive line as well, Jim, as Hope is electing to get people in the game.
Probably a good idea right now, and maybe another reason why they piled up an extra score right before the half. They got it up to a point right now where you can get some new faces in and get some new folks playing. Not a bad idea. Dallas Saucer is the quarterback now, number 16. And Saucer going to look to throw up the sideline, and boy, I'll tell you what, a completion. He put the ball right on Ellie Vanderveen's hands, and Vanderveen pulls it in for the 1st down, and the mark is up around the 47-yard line.
Yeah, really nice job on the back shoulder fade. How about it? Coming in off the cold sideline, standing around all day long, and then you throw a back shoulder fade like that?
Yeah.
That is tough to do. The lefty gets it done.
Saucer with a very nice situation. Mike Murphy now 25 is the running back in there. So we're going to see a lot of new faces, I think, as we go. And they will fake the ball to Murphy and throw the ball into the flat, and a completion again. And we go looking for another number at 85 at this point in time. We've got a nice alphabetical roster right now without not a numerical. And right at the very top, Braylon Amos is 85.
A great zone beater. You just settle up between the inside and outside linebacker, pivot, give your chest to the receiver, to the quarterback. 5-yard, a little pivot route. Nice concept by Hope.
So again, Murphy in the backfield, and they will not even fake it to Murphy. The lefty will throw it down into the flat, and that is Gavin Reams, and Reams has the completion inside the 10-yard line. So you go from a righty with Alex Thole to a lefty for Dallas Saucer, and he rolls to the left and puts the ball right on the money.
Now, let's see. Is this an actual catch? Caught, yeah, step is made, and then the ball's popped out by Johnson. Nice play by Johnson, but unfortunately it rolls out of bounds. Yeah, you change the names, you change the people, but the result is the same for Hope. This is a high executing offense, no matter who's in there.
Boy, I'll tell you what, they have not missed a beat, have they? They put some new offensive linemen in. They've changed about everything they can change right now, and this defense for the Britons still having a hard time with it. Well, at this point in time, I would think if you're the defense from Albion, it's kind of hard to keep the focus, I would think, being down 41-0 on a cold Saturday afternoon, but Baxtresser with a nice job to come up and make that stick at the 12-yard line.
And about third time in this football game that Baxtresser has come up and laid the wood at the line of scrimmage from his cornerback position. Look at Bona getting held right there.
Yeah.
That allows Baxtresser to come flying up along with Johnson. The effort's still there on the guys in purple.
It really is. So it is second down now at about 11 as they lose a yard on that play, on that running play. Why would you run it? I mean, they've been throwing the ball as well as what they have thrown it all afternoon, but it does keep the clock moving just a little bit. They'll head it to Murphy again, and Murphy not much off that right side.
Another young guy, Caleb Vaughn, number 37, getting involved. Chase that one down from behind.
So a nice job by the Britons defense right now. Let's see if we can keep them out of the end zone here and get that football back. All right, they're going to bring Johnny Rowan Blanton back into the lineup. So Blanton will check into the slot on the top of your screen. See if they will go to Blanton here. Saucer, the quarterback now. He's looking that direction, and he's going to get thumped. The ball comes loose, and it's Britton's ball. Nice job by the Brits. Guess who? Dybus on the blind side smash.
Yeah, watch Dybus. Coach Rundle's going to dial him up on a Cowboy stunt. Backer blitz through C-gap, and he is going to say, hey, how's my shoulder pad on your ribcage feel? Strip sack, big-time play for that Albion defense.
And Alex Olenek, then, the senior from Pinckney, is the one that fell on the football. So a nice job by the seniors to team up. I'll tell you what, if I had maybe a Christmas wish, it'd be for those two guys to decide they wanted to play one more year at Albion next year. You know what I mean?
I think everybody'd like to see that, right?
They have been so much fun to watch. On even a tough Saturday afternoon like this one, they're still out there giving it 110%. Run by Nichols here this time by the Britons is, I don't know. You kind of wonder right now if you're Coach Rundle, really, what are you going to do right now? You got a young quarterback, and Steve Wassel obviously is starting to work him into the to a Saturday afternoon, the performance that he's hoping for. But he's had a rough afternoon throwing the ball. You've got a 41-point deficit right now, so you need to try to move the ball, but it's kind of tough. Throw out the flat to Dennison. Dennison's up to the 30-yard line. He will be close to the first down. They say the ball is on the ground, but I think Dennison was already on the ground when it came out. Let's see.
Dennison's going to catch it on this flat route that Albion absolutely loves. And then they see it. Yep. Ball was out, but I think he falls right on top of it. It was 43. Tyler Radley, defensive lineman. Boy, how many times have we seen this Hope defensive line sprint outside and make a tackle, right? These guys are always active.
They are. Well, again, a deep team, a lot of young guys right now getting their opportunity to play this afternoon here at Albion. And, you get that opportunity, you got to make the most of it. Dent goes right side, but he'll be short, and he'll set up a fourth down, and now you got to make up your mind, don't you, huh? Under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter, you're down 41 points, and you get a fourth down and short. And you're on by the way, your own 30-yard line.
Now, it looks like Coach Rundle's going to say, let's go for this. They're going to bring Nichols back into the backfield. Look, it's 41-0 with 4:30 left in the third. Why not?
4th down and 1. I agree, 100%. This one's already out of control, so the only hope that you have right now is to be able to maybe come up with this 1st down. And again, you go back to that pistol. I've never liked the pistol on a 4th down and short like this, but again, Brits get the run as Nichols gets over the pile for the 1st down.
Well, I think Nichols, when he jumped and turned, I think he's going to have enough for it.
Never again. It is a philosophy. It's the formation that you run all the time. But man, you
especially when everybody knows you're going to run the football.
They
right?
do.
You saw Hope jump into their bare front, made things difficult. Good effort by Nichols.
Bring the big guys in and go under center, and you just go forward. I guess that's the old style of football that I'm accustomed to. But it worked either way. It's 1st down and 10 for the Brits. Here comes pressure. Ball gets thrown to Fracassi. And over his head and out of bounds. And I'll tell you what, again, huge heat on Davis Crossman.
Yeah, this is something that Hope has done all afternoon. They are going to bring a 5th guy from somewhere. This time it was the outside edge blitzer, Dom Cassis. Number 27, it got in the backfield right in the quarterback Crossman's face.
Got our buddy Jake Krause, who's helping us with a little color from the other side right now. Says Saucer, I'll give you that here in just a minute. As the throw across the middle is getting high and off the fingertips of Johnson and into the hands of the defensive back for Hope. Boy, I'll tell you what, that one thrown a little bit high and with some heat on it. And Johnson not able to come down with it.
Well, you talk to quarterback coaches all the time. You want to throw in-breaking routes below the numbers, because when you don't, it's going to be tipped up in the air, and most times it's going to wind up in your opponent's hands. Ball too high, goes off your receiver's hands. Even had it been a completion, it was going to come back off of illegal man upfield. But Johnson not able to hold on to that one. He was open, just goes off the hands. Another interception for Hope.
How important is it to maybe get in the portal even on D3 here? Our buddy Jake says that Saucer, the new lefty, was a starter at Iowa Western CC, which won a championship and a high school championship. And, you got to find people from all over, right? But there's a guy that's coming out of Iowa, and Sturzma, right, as he says, eight state championships in the state of Michigan at East Grand Rapids. And he's starting to really put a great program together here at Hope. There's no doubt about that.
You ever been to Iowa, Jim?
I have been to Iowa, man.
It's easy to get people to leave that state, isn't it?
It is very easy to get people to leave that state, yes. I was in Malcolm, Iowa about 15 years ago. That's in the middle of nowhere.
I love Iowa. This teasing you, folks. It's all corn, but drove from Nebraska through Iowa, and people said, well, how'd you like it? Didn't know it was 2 different states.
Really? Yeah. You could put them all together. There's no doubt about it. Throw going to go towards the middle, and that was probably the first bad throw we've seen all afternoon from a Hope quarterback, as Saucer throwing that one to the middle of the field, basically nobody around it.
And they tried to hit Aiden O'Brien on a drag route. Boy, they've made a living today throwing over to the middle of the field on crossing routes.
Luthman checks back into the game, the H-back / tight end type player. And they have Reams again that wide to the Hope sideline. And they'll go under the ground. Nice little pickup there by 29 as we go down through our roster here again. 29 is Gunnar Sudwinski.
Yeah, look at all the white jerseys pushing purple jerseys about 5 yards upfield. Makes life really difficult for your linebackers when defensive linemen are getting pushed into you. Again, doesn't matter who's in on that offensive line for this Hope team, man. They are great run blockers.
They have done a nice job all afternoon. There's just no doubt. Sudinsky back again in that running back spot, and they were giving the ball one more time, and the offensive line pushes forward. 29 runs right behind him. He'll cross the 25 to about the 24.
Now watch the double team, 71. Everybody working their way, and it gets in the way of your linebackers. Next thing you know, you got a running back right on top of you. 71 is McLaurin. Junior lineman, 6'1", from Niles, 280 pounds. That's a guy that can get under you naturally at 6'1".
Yeah, no doubt. Murphy checks back into the football game at the backfield, and he will handle this one. Cuts left side, but not much to go. As he gets into the hole, the Brits kind of swarm him up, give him a short game, and then run him backwards a half a dozen yards and drop him about the 30-yard line. But pick up about a yard, set up a third down now at about 4.
Jim, we got to give a lot of credit to this offensive line, but they're coached by a really good one, Hunter Thompson, offensive line coach over at Hope. If they give away a position coach award,
yeah,
he might get it, right? This is a great offensive line.
There's no doubt.
How about the name Hunter Thompson?
How do you go wrong with one like that?
I know.
Does he got shades over there? Does he got a cigarette in his mouth? With a cigarette holder. Throws a little bit short, but we got a flag in the secondary there, down around the 10-yard line. We'll have to see exactly what that is. Liam Young was the intended receiver.
Might be in danger.
Yeah, there could be a problem right now. Yeah. Biggest win in the history of this the game is in doubt right now, and we're not gonna jinx it. We're gonna hope that Hope cannot figure out how to score any more points right now.
Well, they're going to say that Liam Young, the freshman from Plymouth, Michigan, Dearborn Divine Child, pushed off to get himself free. Going to be a loss of down. Big penalty for Albion. Going to set up a field goal.
And they will give this a try from the 34-yard line. So it'll be a 44-yard kick for Caden Balkin. Balkin, the Johnny Rowan Blanton to hold for this kick. Good snap, good placement. Kicks on its way, and I think it's wide right, just a little bit off the mark to the right side. So there you go.
All right, got to stop.
Hey, you got to love that, right? Hope's largest winning margin there was 47-7 back in 1957. That's the stat we were talking about a minute ago. So at this moment, okay, we are sitting here with that basically in doubt because it's 41-0. Brits need to score something here to be able to close that gap just a little bit. So here comes the Britons. Let's see if they can't muster something here today. And again, you're going to allow your freshman quarterback to go all the way. Allie Murray on the sideline, the senior, but really does you no good anymore. You got to get the reps to the guy that's going to be around. It's Cameron Moore with the completion. And he's across the 25 to about the 27, maybe the 28.
Hey, good job rallying up by that secondary for Hope. They had the 2-on-1. Great defeat of the block on the outside by the cornerback Jacobs.
Dennison put the hit on him, and still able to make that tackle. Griffin with the football bounces in the middle, now comes around the corner. Had no place to go up the gut there. Kind of snuck around the outside and was able to get just a little bit. Maybe a third down now at about 3, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. So that quarter went pretty quick there, Miles.
Yeah, a lot of running the football. Anytime you have backups in, you want to run the football. But heck, this is what Hope does really well no matter what, right? They run the football no matter who's in the football game. Albion trying to put some points up on the board. Would love to see Crossman engineer a drive where he makes a couple big throws, maybe on a third down, because these are things that he's going to have to accomplish as he gets better as a quarterback.
No doubt about it. You can take a look at the passing yards. The Brits only 62 yards of passing this afternoon compared to 328 for Hope here on the afternoon. And rushing yards, 212 to 21. So when you take a look at that scoreboard and you see 41-0 up there, there's a lot of bigger numbers behind it that kind of add them all up to that 41-0 number.
Well, you got to go back and give a lot of credit, though, to this Hope football team. They're ready to play football. They had that early turnover. Didn't matter, right? They got the turnover. They had a 3rd down and 8 off of that. Converted it. Next thing you know, it's 7-0. And then the 80-yard run. Before you knew it, Jim, 2 minutes into this game, it was 14-0 because this Hope football team was ready to play.
Lorenzo Vitti, we just heard here on the on our Jake line out there, our Jake from State Farm line. He was a transfer DB from the Naval Academy. So, Hope has built this team not only through very smart picks from the high school ranks, but also have been able to have some folks that come play with them from other colleges. And they just absolutely collapse the pocket. And
I believe it's going to be Patrick Rowland that gets there first, number 44. Oh, look at him just continue to work on a rip move. And gets Crossman to the ground, sets up 4th down. And I guess if you move from Navy to Hope, you have to transfer to a team that has anchors somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. No doubt. You got to have that naval theme somehow involved. You're right. I agree. So 4th down now. As I look at the two guys next to me, and they are bundled up like we're doing a game in January, and I wish I was bundled up like they are right now. It's a little chilly up here today. 49-yard line is where the punt will be picked up by Reams. He will fair catch it there in a short field again for the Flying Dutchman as they will get ready to go. Don't forget, we will have a volleyball game for you on Wednesday night. That should be a whole lot of fun. St. Mary's comes to town. The Lady Britons, who are now sitting in the number 3 spot in the conference after a loss last night, a tough loss to Calvin. We'll have that one going, and then we'll have the first women's basketball game this next Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And one and only Miles Holliday will get those golden tones going and ready to go to call a little basketball here on the Britain Sports Network.
Boy, a lot of returners in that ladies basketball program. I'm excited to see how good they're going to be this year.
Should be a whole lot of fun as Murphy gets ahead for about 8 yards. Pile's still moving out there, but the play's been whistled dead quite a while. Just into the 4th quarter right now as Hope has the football with a short field.
And if you haven't watched the volleyball team yet, play Carly Frank. Keep an eye on the lefty on the outside. Pin hitter, she hits about as hard as anybody in MIAA.
He really has. It was last night was a really an interesting game to watch because Carly had probably the quietest night that she's had that we have seen so far. A nice job by Calvin to be able to try to figure that out. But first down run now by Murphy will move the sticks and keep the ball in Hope's possession. But yeah, it's going to set up for an interesting MIAA finals, I would think, because the Brits still the youngest team in this conference when you look at the top 3 here at this moment. Calvin and Hope both have a nice little 3 or 4 seniors that really power the team ahead, and the Brits only sophomores and juniors right now. So, they're learning, they're growing, they're getting better. And if you enjoy volleyball, tune us in and watch that game coming up on Wednesday night. Little throw to Connor Knapp, the 6'1" freshman out of Holland, Michigan, who pulls that one in and steps out of bounds down around the 20-yard line.
Just a 3-layered flood concept against that coverage for Albion. And how about the throw? 1, 2, 3 on a roll, and you're going to put it in a great spot. Another great quarterback play by Hope.
Thomas Boss, 24, that checks into that tight end type position. And they will go back to the running game coming off the left-hand side as Sudinsky. And Sudinsky gets inside the 20 to about the 17.
Good recognition on the zone run game scheme. Dibus shoots the gap, makes the tackle.
I think that wind has cooled down a little bit. The sun's come out, but I think the wind off the lake, I think it's the Lake Michigan's a little colder today than it normally is. You know what I mean?
The only heat in the state of Michigan is the floorboard heater that we have right now.
Yeah, and it's on the other end of the press box.
It is cold. People are going to that Michigan-Purdue game tonight. They're going to be freezing.
Oh, there's an easy touchdown run, and again, they go right back to Gunnar Sudinsky, and Sudinsky takes it in, 5'11" freshman out of Granville, Michigan, and he scrambles his way in for the easy score.
Boy, they can run the counter, can't they?
Yeah, they can.
Kick out, wrap around, down blocks. If you get those down blocks, boy, it makes that counter so much easier to execute.
47-0, and right now it does appear that this will be the most lopsided victory in Hope's favor in the history of this matchup that goes back a long, long ways. Extra point this time is good, and we can tally that 48th point up on the scoreboard there for Hope. And I'll tell you, everybody on that Hope sideline right now, as you can see, are jumping up and down and feeling really good about things. And on the other side, the purple and gold, they're doing a lot of thinking right now.
It's still 11:48 left in this.
Yeah.
Some time for this Albion football team to feel good about themselves, put a couple drives together, start building towards the last 2 weeks of the season.
Got Olivet next week on the road. You got Calvin coming in here for the last game of the season. That's when we'll be back again. And again, to be able to somehow put some points on that scoreboard and at least go home today 48-something rather than 0 would be at least a plus, right, this afternoon? Because it has been a tough afternoon. If you just tuned in, the very first play of the afternoon was an interception, which led to a short field and a quick touchdown for Hope. And after that, they have not looked backwards. They have just continued with their first team and now their second team on the field to continue to rack up the points and keep on going. And I would think it'd be safe to say, again, the opening game of the conference this year was Alma and Hope at Alma. And I think everybody knows, if you're a Hope fan, what happened there in an overtime game. I would like to be able to see those two play again one more time. That would be a fun game to watch, too, wouldn't it?
Sure would.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe if they both get in, it's not unusual. That could be a head-to-head matchup in that first round, too.
Let's have them play in the MIAA championship game in a dome somewhere.
Yeah, go over to
so
Detroit,
we can get like a 102-98 type of affair.
I like that idea. Brits will go onto the ground right now, and they will bring some new faces in as well in this ball game.
Official hit the ground.
In the wrong spot at the wrong time. Japal Keith, I believe, is the young guy out there, 38 now.
You're going to see it
Japal.
right about here. The big U is going to get blocked into. Ouch! That gentleman, his head hit the field. I hope he's going to be okay.
Japal Keith, a 6'1", 233-pound freshman out of Taylor.
And you saw Will Smith at number 73 for Albion block his guy into him, and then automatically went over to him. Felt terrible that occurred. Good sportsmanship by Will Smith, making sure he is okay.
You know, the officials catch an awful lot of heat. They do such a spectacular job. There's no doubt about that. And every now and then, as the umpire found this time, it just happens to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. And I'll tell you, that turf doesn't feel half as good when you don't have pads on you and you don't have a helmet, right?
How about the field judge even walking over? Hey, dude, you okay?
Yeah.
His old buddy knocking the dirt off him. He's going to be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Tough
They're
guys.
tough.
People forget, a lot of these guys played football, right?
No doubt.
Yeah, so they're tough-minded guys.
Michael Sturm is the umpire that we're talking about right now. And hopefully he will be all right.
You're going to see it bottom of your screen. Will Smith is going to come and block his guy. Just finishing the block.
Boom.
Big hit, and he's contacted by number 49, Connor Britnall. He's going to be all right.
Tucker Hubbard, a tight end, a senior tight end in the game for the Brits right now. He's number 89. And we have a lot of new faces that we'll be talking about here over the course of the next 11 minutes of this ball game, because there are a whole lot of different people out there right now. Jenkins, the running back here for the Britons.
And Patrick Rowland makes the tackle there. Another one of these defensive linemen at Hope that just plays with low leverage and keeps his feet moving.
Deshaun Jenkins, a 6', 204-pound freshman, again out of Warren Mott High School in Detroit. So you're starting to see some new faces now for the Brits out there. And wide receiver Ethan Barker, number 4 on the top. He's shown signs already this year of being a player that we're going to have a lot of fun watching over the course of the next couple of years. So let's see if they can get the ball to Barker here.
Had a big play against Alma.
Yeah, he did.
Early in the year.
Crossman drops, throws across the middle. Man, that's just been kind of the way the afternoon's gone. Cameron Moore had that one hit him right in the hands and just bounced on out.
Yeah, Hope's jumped into their bare front. They're going to bring absolutely everybody. And man behind it, great concept. You're going to run the slant with the wheel behind it out of the backfield. One that when they watch tomorrow, I'll say we should have caught that.
Yeah, we got to have that one. That would have been the first down catch and kept things going. Instead, it's fourth down. And the Brits will bring Hunter back in the game and try to come up with this 4th down and 4. Clock at 10.5 to play in the game, and been a tough afternoon if you're a Britons fan. Crossman hangs on to it way too long, and the next thing you know, he got sandwiched in that backfield, and boy, that was not a pretty sight right there. Those are two big guys. Jacob Reynolds, a 6 foot, 276-pound junior, one of the first guys to get to him.
Now Reynolds working on that left-hand side. He's not going to beat one, but he's going to beat two guys to get there, help out his buddy Jude, number 97. Both of them deserve a half a sack.
I think so. And you add the two totals up when you just got steamrollered by about 350 pounds or 700 pounds total. All right, it's 1st and 10 now for Hope as they will take over on the Britons' 20-yard line. And we got a quarterback keeper this time. And it is actually Tyson Williams, who is a 6'6 junior out of Hartford, Michigan. So we've actually gone now to quarterback number 3 for Hope. And he picks up about 7 yards on that first down carry and then out of bounds, and the clock will stop.
Boy, he is every bit of 6'6", too, isn't
He is, isn't he, huh? That's one big fellow right there. So Noah Dunkel, 26 now, the running back in the game as well. Throw to the goal line, and he almost got in, but the Brits with a good job of being able to keep him out of the end zone, and that was Thomas Smith that made the wrap.
Now watch the confidence in which Williams just sits in there. And at 6'6", you can survey over top everybody, and then just drop a laser between the underneath and back coverage.
Braylon Amos was the young man that got it, and when he reached out to try to tuck that thing over the goal line, he is already at the 3. He caught it at the 1.
Andrew Hawken, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, he can recruit some quarterbacks, can he?
I would say so. I would say so. Murphy again back in the game, and the quarterback keeps this one again, and will run it in. So Tyson Williams gets his first touchdown of the afternoon, and I'm almost guessing probably the first one of the season as he scampers in from a couple out. And it is now 54-0. Hope on top with the extra point coming.
Quarterback power. You're going to kick out, and then you're going to bring the two backs to lead up through. It's just an old power play, except for you're running out of shotgun.
And we've also changed kickers here. Nope, that's Balkan again. And the extra point is good. They have changed kickers quite a bit all the way around, kickoffs and everything else. But they've really been interchangeable this afternoon. A whole lot of faces, new faces coming in and off that bench as you take a look now. 252 yards of rushing for Hope on the afternoon right now compared to 6 for the Brits. Now, obviously, there were a lot of sacks and negative yardage in that total, right? But 359 yards of passing this afternoon. So, without doing a lot of math, that's something sitting over 600 yards of total offense right now, which is a pretty solid afneafternoon.
Yeah, I've always wondered why high school and college don't adopt that NFL rule, right? Sacks should not count against your rushing total.
I've never liked that at all. I really don't. It totally, again, it wouldn't put us over 100 yards of rushing this afternoon, okay? But at 6, that, I've not had had a real good.
It's not a true indicator.
Not at all. If you want to get a actual running back tackle for loss, if you pitch the ball out and the running back gets knocked back in the end zone, in the backfield for a 4-yard loss, well, that's one thing. But a sack, again, a whole different ball game. Here comes Johnson. Can he do something? No. Tripped up at about the 20-yard line. So nothing has worked this afternoon for the Britons.
And Tyler Gavitt, number 20. Look, these Hope guys, they just play with intensity, and they play through the whistle, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to stop until they make that tackle. Not a lot of guys in the orange and blue that stand around and watch plays. They're always finishing plays.
They really are. And again, on an afternoon like this one, when you've got an opportunity like this one and you get a chance now to come in and play a little bit, and I believe that is Maddox Greenfield, the young man on the field at this point in time. But when if imagine you're the third quarterback on the travel team today, which is kind of a small squad over there, and you're going to get a chance to play, you're going to give it everything you got, right? This is your opportunity. If you're a third-team guy on the Britons right now and you're down 55 points, you may not have quite the motivation, but you would hope you would.
Well, coaches are always looking for that guy, right?
Yeah.
You're down 55-0, but they're going to watch film and they're going to hold people accountable, but they're going to also watch for guys whose effort doesn't drop. Because it's easy, human nature, when you're down big points, kind of let's just get this thing over with. But the guys that are going to continue to work hard, the guys that are going to spark on film, are the guys that are playing hard no matter what the down and distance, no matter what the score is.
And the good news, it looks like he's going to be up and heading the other way. And, more and more of these guys with the short shorts on, And, again, Joey or Maddox Greenfield, I believe, is who that is.
Yeah, the day and age of the officials saying that's not covering your knees, it's going to be a penalty. Those are long gone,
Those are
right?
long gone, yeah.
Big, bulky knee pads and thigh pads. Guys want to feel fast, and you watch all their shorts, you call them, they don't really cover the knees, do they?
Not at all. I mean, you would look just dandy down there in Florida on one of the beaches right now in a couple of those pants that they're wearing at this moment. You'd be styling down on the walkway there. All right, let's see. Brits, I think, are going to maybe change quarterbacks too. Do we have a different guy out there? Yeah, we do. Number 7 is Jackson Sage now, a freshman out of Southgate, Michigan. And he kept that one for a nice little pickup of about 3.
You're going to read number 97, who bounces down. Jude, who had the big sack a moment ago for Hope, this time gets his eyes looking at the running back. A little fool's gold.
Griffin, the running back in the backfield right now, Tyler. And they will hand it to Tyler. And Tyler has a little bit of a crack open up on that left side, and he gets through for 2 or 3. It'll set up a 3rd down and a manageable 3. And since they went for it on 4th down last time, I would believe that barring something really tragic right now, they're going to go for it again. Sharon Sutton, number 5, a junior on the field as well. He's in the slot here on this side. 3rd down and 3. Handoff again, goes to Griffin, and Griffin gets to the line of scrimmage and then stood up. Maybe got a yard. It'll set up a 4th down and a couple.
Yeah, I think it's going to be short, setting up 4th down. You saw a couple of the Albion linemen signaling it's going to be a 1st down, but clearly short.
And Bowman comes trotting in, and they're going to kick this thing, huh?
They're going to punt this away.
Yep.
Earlier in the quarter. 4th is short, but it might be because you've got another young quarterback in here. You go ahead and punt it away.
4th down and 1. 7.5 to play. Clock is ticking. Bowman's had a good afternoon here. Several kicks over 50 yards with the roll, and now a fair catch by Reams at the 28-yard line will give Hope the football for another drive. And, boy, they have just absolutely.
Do you remember years ago where you had to make it a strong demonstrative signal on the fair catch?
Yeah.
That was a real late one and just kind of a throw up in the air. Reams was able to get it done with the fair catch, but, boy, back years ago, that was a dangerous move.
All right, here we go, man. 7:24 to play. And the Hope Flying Dutchmen come out on the field. We'll see who they have. They got another quarterback now, and this time we're going to bring number 3 back in here now. So we run real quickly to Jonathan Pittman, 6'3", 227 freshman. And the ball comes out across the 35-yard line, and again back to 26, Noah Dunkel.
A good block on the perimeter. Allows Hope to get to the edge again, pick up about 8 on first down. And new quarterback in Pittman, 6'3", 227. They have a style of quarterback that they like. I mean, it's a little bit different from their regular starter in Alex Stoll, but the guys they recruit normally big, stout dudes.
Yeah, they really are. Murphy at the running back now, 25, and the quarterback will call his own number. And again, they just find that right side. And I'll tell you what, these quarterbacks, especially Pittman and the last guy they brought in, both of them not afraid to tuck it and go, are they, huh?
No, and you see why they like him.
Yeah.
Pittman, nice spin move to get himself some extra yardage. Ran through a couple arm tackles. Tough to bring a 225-pound quarterback down when you're trying to tackle him with your arm.
So we're on quarterback number 4, Tyson Williams, the guy before the 6'6", 210-pounder. And they'll go back to the ground now with Murphy, and Murphy with not a lot of running room. So clock down to 6 minutes and counting, and everybody, I think, in purple and gold are starting to fold up their blankets and get ready to go back to wherever they were going. A tailgate here afterwards, or maybe head uptown for a little dinner. Maybe sit and watch a football game someplace else here before they go back home, or hang around with their son or daughter who are going to Albion.
A good fight by Rodney Chapman, number 8 on that far defensive side. Keeps continuing to work hard for this Albion defense.
Clock just continues to tick right now, and Murphy off the right side gets some decent yardage. The offensive lineman helped push it forward another yard or two, so it'll be about the 40-yard line where Albion will put this, or Hope will put this one in play here on the next play.
They're going to have a flag from stuff taking place at the end of the play.
You get into a game like this, and you get to this time frame, and there is stuff happening every now and then on that field, aren't there, huh?
Miles Burrell putting his hands up like, I'm not sure what I did. Why did I deserve a flag there?
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 52. 15 yards out to the end of the round.
Look, hey, there's no way Miles did anything wrong.
Yeah, not at all. No, the guy named Miles, if you know him, really, I mean, that's the only reason a parent would pick the name Miles, is they know they're going to be perfect their entire life, right?
It's a great name for a young man like that. Miles is going to come over to the sideline and have to plead his case to Coach Rundle. Like, I didn't see much there, though. Did you?
No, I didn't either. Jim Funderburg along with Miles Holiday here. If you hadn't caught the 2 names that are up here right now, I'm Jim, that's Miles. He's the perfect one.
Yeah, Miles Burrell spells it correctly, too. M-Y-L-E-S. That's the way to do it.
And you know, when you get a situation, if you know they're special when you turn the lights off in the arena and they glow. They're just this nice little gold glow that goes, right? They're the chosen one, just sitting over there. Yeah, like a halo, yeah. Only a halo from the opposite end. It's actually around the head. If you get my it just glows all the way around, a whole body glow. Brits kind of swarm up and finally make the hit on Noah Dunkel. And Dunkel, who got to the line of scrimmage and then was driven backwards 3 or 4 yards. I guess that was Murphy, 25, not 26. They've been bouncing those 2 in back and forth on me, too.
Indy Hurst, number 98. He is an effort dude. You see it right there. Got a lot of snaps early in this football game, getting more now. He plays with great leverage. That's what you're going to have if you're going to stop inside run. You got to have those strong, squatty guys that take away gaps.
You know, Coach talking a lot about how young this team is and how the future looks good to him and his coaching staff. And you see guys like this out here talking exactly the way that you talked a minute ago about who's given the effort this far down, this late in the game. And he is one of those guys that is still doing that. No doubt.
You got to build your program through character, right? And what's a test of true character? Guys that are continuing to work hard when you're down 55-0.
Pittman, the freshman quarterback looks like, gosh, well, I don't know. How do you pick one? I mean, you started with one of the best quarterbacks we've seen in the conference for quite a bit, and I don't see really a drop-off in talent as we go through quarterback 2, 3, and 4 on this team. Do you?
I would take any of the 4, wouldn't you?
I would say, yeah. If they want to leave one of those guys behind here today, I think we'll be happy to provide them with some the directions to the dormitories here at Albion College as Murphy is able to open up find that open hole in the middle and trot his way into the end zone, and that was just way too easy. Here he goes.
See the block right there. Boy, how about offensive lineman up to the second level, getting more and more blocks. I believe that is Liebma, Jaden Liebma, number 55 for Hope, getting a block 8 yards upfield to get his running back free.
Biggest margin of victory? Well, you're looking at it right now, 61-0. As the Britons look like they are going to go over here this afternoon. Unfortunately, 62-0 with the extra point. And the Britons will have one more opportunity with 3 minutes left to go in this ball game to see if they can't find a way to put a score on the board this afternoon. Boy, I'll tell you, we have not had many afternoons like this one, Miles, here in Albion, have we, huh?
We have not. I remember a playoff game a couple years ago that team from Wisconsin came in. They were clearly much more better than what we had that afternoon. That one got a little lopsided, but don't remember anything this dominant before.
Well, we got some new guys going back to return as well for the Britons right now as we take a look at some new numbers. Number 30 is Ezra Taylor. Okay, Taylor, a 5'10 freshman out of Potterville, Michigan. And he's in the middle of this whole thing. That's where the ball has been going most of the afternoon. And back to Cooper Clark kicking off here for Hope. And a long kick that will go through the end zone, and the Britons will have the football first down and 10 at the 25. Well, Britons have 3 timeouts. Hope has 3 timeouts, but I don't think they're going to get used here this afternoon. Do you, Miles? I don't believe anybody's going to call one here in the second half.
Well, you'd think not.
Yeah.
Clearly a score that is lopsided. Let's just get out of this one, make sure nobody else gets hurt kind of thing, and build for next week. But at the same time, boy, it'd be nice if Albion could get one on the board here.
It really would be, man. There's no doubt about that as Sage back in at quarterback here now. And again, a long off season here to allow these young guys to get in the weight room, study some tape, work with one another, and get ready for what's going to happen next year. As that one is tipped to the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted in the middle of the field. Instead, just a second down now and 10. Sage threw it, and boy, I don't know. That might have hit the helmet of the defender who was being blocked coming up the middle there. I didn't see a hand in the air. I think he got the top of the headgear.
Well, Sage didn't get his feet in the right spot, so that drops your elbow. And when you drop your elbow, it's going to make the trajectory of the football low.
And it definitely was low. Running play going absolutely nowhere, as that'll be a loss of a couple. And that is Deshaun Jenkins, the running back now.
Jude makes another play for Hope. Boy, here's a second and third string defensive end just making plays over and over again for Hope.
Yeah, it's been an impressive afternoon. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to say this to you as well after watching this team. If it does end up that Alma wins this conference this year and gets the automatic bid to the in the NCAA. There's our 5th interception of the afternoon, and again, a bad one as it was just basically thrown to the defensive back, and that is Jack Jacobs that pulled that one off. I would really love to be able to see Hope get into the playoff, the postseason as well. This is a pretty impressive squad.
How many interceptions have been thrown today, Jim? Because pressure is right in the quarterback's face. I know it's a good secondary for Hope, but look, you drop in your coverage, keep your eyes on the quarterback, let your big fellas up front apply to pressure, you're going to have an opportunity for interceptions.
I don't think that you really haven't had any contested interceptions this afternoon by Hope. That ball just has been thrown to them all afternoon, and to your point, it's because of the heat that the quarterback's been under when he had to let go of it. 2:18 to play. Got one more stop here with the 2-minute timeout. And hope we'll put the ball on the ground and get us to that point, I think, with that play. So
that will roll it to 2 minutes. Thankfully, nobody calls timeout before that. And
yeah, I would have been. It would have been very interesting. You got Jake's jumping in right now and says that he thinks that Hope, Adrian, and Alma. This guy's like part of our. We don't have Mo anymore, but we got Jake, don't we? Jake, can you follow us the rest of the year, man? Oh, don't even talk that way. The last time we were here, we got to this point and we had a lightning delay. No, don't talk that way.
Yeah, press box jokes are bad sometimes. Someone said they thought they saw some lightning. Come on now.
Yeah, cut that out, man. We were down and running out of time and running out of room, and the next thing you know, they saw lightning, and we had to stick around for that last, 27 seconds? Is that what it was that day? Yeah.
Jim, I've tried to block that out.
Okay, well, I block out the things that I don't need to block out, and the things that I don't need to block out just stay there with me all the time. Around that left side, the run continues to go for Murphy, and Murphy not wanting to give up. Goes all the way inside the 15 to the 14, and we've got a flag on the ground back here around the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold at the bottom of your screen. You see it out there. Hand outside the framework, and I'm sure the Albion sideline is saying, where's that been?
Where's that been all
Where
afternoon long,
been
man?
Tonight?
We just thought that was called the Hope. Well, it doesn't really matter. We're going to move it all the way back here with 1:53 to play.
The thing about it, though, is you didn't really need to get that hand outside the framework. As Tommy Rouse said, had a great job on the initial block. Just keep your hands inside.
Well, here we are. 2nd down and 15. Hope. As we try to put a bow on this one. 62-0. Hope with an easy laugher here, and they'll hop on a bus and head back over to Holland.
That'll be one that people around the MIAA will look at and say, whoa, 62-0.
Yeah, what happened there? One of the things we have not done is go check in on where the rest of the scores are. So I'll do that as we work our way down to the last couple of running plays, I'm sure.
There you go. Miles Burrell makes the tackle.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that just sounds good, doesn't it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Miles Burrell, yeah. Let's see if the MIAA has a maybe some scoring updates for us here right now. It has been a tough afternoon for everybody here in Albion, but I'll tell you, if you're back there at Hope and over in Holland right now, you're happy with the way that this game has played out. You're got to be delighted with the way that your team is playing right now. And Murphy has tries to get out around that corner. He's got no place to go. He'll go down for no gain.
Yeah, some more flags come in.
Okay,
Michael Platter on the tackle there for Albion, number 34.
Calvin is just absolutely whooping up on Olivet here this afternoon. 42-20, Calvin on top of Olivet. So there's a program that just started and is going to be a good one. You know that. Alma and Trine at this point in time. Alma on top of that one, 42-28. Again, all of them about the same place that we are right now. And the only other game I've got is Adrian and Kalamazoo, and there's no score on the conference scoreboard. So it looks like Alma's going to be able to move on past Trine this afternoon, but not without a fight.
And Thomas Smith going to be whistled for that one.
And Calvin will win its contest this afternoon as well. And I'll tell you what looked to be maybe an easy Week 10 here for the Britons is setting up for possibly a very difficult Saturday afternoon here at Sprankle-Sprandel Stadium. All right, we're down to 53 ticks in this game.
The result of the play is a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 43 seconds. It'll start on my whistle.
And we run that clock down another 10 seconds. I don't think anybody's unhappy with at this point in time. Jonathan Pittman now the quarterback again. See if Pittman will call his own number. He's got a touchdown on the afternoon, and that young fella can run.
This is going to be the victory formation.
I think so, too. There you go.
Like
down he goes.
You like how Pittman took a step forward before he took the knee?
Maybe, will Coach, what do you think he's thinking? Will Coach be real upset with me if I just run this thing in? What do you think, huh? And Coach probably would have been upset with him. So the knee will close this one out this afternoon. The Brits go down. Very difficult afternoon for them, 62-0. Boy, we have not seen a game like this one since we've been coming up to Albion, which is now 11 years.
I was incredibly impressed with Alma when they were here a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, Jim, I don't know if there's a team that is better in all three phases and deeper than this Hope football team. I mean, they brought dudes in from second and third team, and they were still fantastic. This is a very good Hope football team that people need to hope don't get into the playoffs, because watch out if you have to play them.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And if you're Coach Rundle this afternoon, what do you take out of this, and how do you move forward?
I'm not sure you watch film. You just go in, you talk to the guys, and tell them exactly what needs to be done. But you have to start building again with effort on Monday, and get back and focus on the last two games of the year. Let's find a way to win those last two games so we feel good going into the offseason.
Brits go to Olivet next Saturday. We will not be there. We will be back here in 2 Saturdays, the 15th, and we will be hooking up with Calvin that afternoon. Wednesday night, we have a volleyball game here at 7 o'clock against St. Mary's, and we'll be back on the air that way. And then also Saturday afternoon, the very first women's basketball game will be here at the Kresge Center at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Big thank you this afternoon to Kenny Reeker, who did all the wonderful production work for us this afternoon. John Dalrymple, one of our camera guys, and Zoe Autor. Both of them up on the top of the building today. And you think it was cold where we are? It was freezing cold up there. There's no doubt about that.
Zoe was tough, too.
I'll tell you what, Zoe, John and Zoe made a great team this afternoon. I think those two camera ops did a great job for us this afternoon. Stephen Krohn-Klein, thank you. And also Noah Taluki, who is up here with us and helped to fill in last night at the volleyball game. And as always, Jennifer Rushton, the athletic director here at Albion. One last time, the Brits go down this afternoon, 62-0. That'll wrap it up for us on a Saturday afternoon. Have a great rest of your Halloween weekend, and we will talk to you Wednesday night at about 6:30 right here on the Britain Sports Network.